Alright, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Staydownla podcast belong to me, K Stacks to P, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you mad, you might want to log off now. For everybody else, welcome to the Staydownla podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. To wherever you are watching this at, and to everybody out there, it's your boy K Stacks to P. You already know the deal. And you are listening / watching the Staydownla podcast. This is a program / podcast, because at this point it's a TV show, where we discuss different topics. We discuss politics, discuss culture, discuss relevance, and of course discuss K Stacks to P. This episode is episode 34 of the Staydownla podcast, and the Staydownla podcast is brought to you and sponsored by Staydownla, which is also owned and curated by K Stacks to P as well. And if you would like to support, just make sure to follow me on all my platforms at Staydownla, on TikTok at K Stacks to P, and on Instagram at Staydownla. So, of course, you guys already know, and if you're new here, we always gotta start the episode off with a prayer. أوصي بالعشرة الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Thank you, Allah, for allowing me another day. Thank you, Allah, for allowing the listener and the watcher to be able to find this podcast. If this podcast has found you, you are in the right place. You are not lost. Allah brought you here for a reason. Allah brought me to you for a reason. Whether that be entertainment, informational, or just for poor boredom, I'm glad. And I'm glad that He brought us all together for this special occasion. Just want to give a big shout out to my angels up in heaven that's always looking out for me and representing me and just overall guiding me and protecting me. Shout out to my grandmas on both of my sides. Shout out to my auntie Bosse. Shout out to Latif's mom. Shout out to Latif. Shout out to Kalila. And shout out to Elliot. May you guys all rest in perfect peace. I want you guys to know I miss and love you guys, and I'm always thinking about you guys. And I appreciate you guys so much for being up above, guiding, protecting me, and working with Allah to make sure everything that I need is always where I need it. So, like I said, I'm grateful. It's episode 34, as you guys can tell by the title. This time around, I actually had the title ready. Most of the time, I usually figure out the episode description, all that stuff, through the topics and everything like that. But based on the movies, I already kind of knew what this episode was going to really be about, and like kind of where I wanted to like title it. So, of course, gotta give a big shout out to the people with me today. I thought I was going to be able to show them, but I was able to find a way to show them. So I got Sasuke, Naruto, Kakashi, and Itachi, and I got some Mises. I don't know what they're called. I keep forgetting the name. It's called Smeeski. That's what it's called. So I got 3 of them, and I got my pop versions of the Hello Kitty Narutos, and then of course you know I got my incense in the back burning, and of course shout out to the Taj Mahal. The incense that we got burning on today's episode is Bob Marley incense, fresh cone incense. Like I said, shout out to the Taj Mahal, distributed by a Mother Nature. But yes, I have a very good episode planned for you guys today. As you guys can see, it is still the month of Ramadan. It's actually day 9 of Ramadan, and it's actually been going very well. If you guys don't know what Ramadan is the holy month for Muslims, where we come together, or we just, we in our own right, we all fast from sun up to sundown. We pray more, we donate more, we read the Quran more, and we just be, if there is a such thing as like being overly Muslim, this is the time to be overly Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So, as you guys can see, I'm still rocking that Jalamila, you feel me? Good grade. Because on Tuesdays and Thursdays we got class, but on Thursdays it's podcast day, so you know I gotta come to the pod looking fresh to the gods, you feel me? Fresh to Allah Akbar. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so grateful for the jewels. Let's just start there. Let's just start there. As you guys can see, simple fit, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Muslims out there. If you guys really know, this is low-key the best outfit you could wear. Word is on top, and then of course on the bottom, got the Adidas, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? 3-stripe joggy, you know what I'm saying? And then on the shirt, just a simple gray tee, you know what I'm saying? Just to complement the and then on the jacket, of course, we're running back the Adidas jacket later on today. And I'm probably, right now, I got the Spider-Man Crocs on, but I'm probably going to wear the Yeezy slides later. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's one thing about it. Each day I try my best to just wear a different pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tiani because she kind of put me onto that. She's like, I try not to wear the same shoes twice. And I was like, that's such a dope idea. Like, even if I like just swap it back and forth, just don't wear the same shoe twice. That gives you like a little, keeps you fresh. And I want to give a big shout out to Noah. Big shout out to Noah, man. Yesterday was his birthday, man. He just turned 20. I don't want to say his age, but he just had his birthday yesterday. So big shout out to Noah, man. Shout out to my cousin, man. If you guys didn't know, like I said, if you've been watching this podcast since day one, you might have to, you might be a little surprised where that came from. But if you've been really paying attention and been really like following along, yes, me and Noah got back being cool. It was just overall just a big misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know with me, hey, I put it like this: I don't cut nobody off. You cut yourself off. And I put it like this: I can help you heal it, or I can let you bleed. It's up to you. I'm gonna just leave it like that. But now that we got the introductions out the way, let's get into the weekly. I'm sorry, y'all. The W's, they're just sometimes very difficult for me to say. The weekly recap. So on Thursday, after of course finishing doing my podcast, going to class, doing my good stuff, speaking of the Taj Mahal, I actually had to go to them and re-up to the Taj Mahal. So I actually had to go to the shop, you know what I'm saying? I had to go to the shop first and re-up on some landscaping supplies. But once I got the landscaping supplies, I went to class, and in class we worked on informative consent. So in my research methods class, we're just learning the technicalities of a survey and the importance of making sure that the people that we're gathering the data from are aware of what they're participating in when we do give them said survey. So there is a form that we have to create because there's groups. There's a group project. So there's a group that I'm in. There was a form we had to make. It's called an informative consent form, where it pretty much lays out like, hey, my name is Kaduz. I'm doing research on, for example, my particular area of focus with this project is personality traits, or I guess you could say personality traits reflected in social media use or social environment. So pretty much I want to see like how someone's personality is reflected in their social media usage, as I consider myself someone that is what is it called, an extrovert. I feel like that is reflected on my social media because I'm very open to posting. Like, whereas some people might feel like, oh, someone, I don't know. I've never really felt, because if anybody's ever followed me like for a long time, I always post on my story. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I might be one of the people that's like TMI. Like I overpost. You know what I mean? But I've never seen an issue with it because, one, I was never posting for validation. I was posting because I was just really lit. My life is lit, so I really just be you know what I'm saying, trying to document it. Like that's really was my goal for real. So I was just documenting it, enjoying the moment, posting and everything. So I never like seen how it could be taken as like someone is doing it for other reasons, I guess. And it made me start thinking like, oh, how does someone that's more introverted present themselves on social media? Because everybody, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people have social media. So it's just really interesting to see how they show up regards to their personality and their types. So that's what I'm really focused on and everything. So if I say that to say that if I was to present the survey on informative consent, I would be pretty much letting them know that, letting it be known plainly, this is what I'm researching. I'm researching your personality trait. So this survey in particular is going to ask you questions about your personality and your social media use, and this data will be used later to come up with whatever I guess we're going to use the data for, you know. So that's what I will be explaining in the informative consent. I would explain if any, you know what I'm saying, just any, you know, I guess you could say just warnings or anything that they should just be aware of, so that way they know, like, okay, this is voluntary, like, you know, you're not going to be hurt or anything, it's just a survey, but, you know, just to be aware. So that's what we were working on last week. Finished that up on Thursday, ended up turning it in with my group, and then after that, I went to the Taj Mahal, and it was just so dope. Like, it was my first time being there. It's so funny. I would say shout out to that said person, but I'm worried that if I say that person's name, they might hear it and then take it wrong. But shout out to this person because they did put me on. And one thing about me, I don't got a cap about my put-ons. You know what I'm saying? They put me on to the Taj Mahal because they got me a gift of this incense burner, the thing, and some thingamajiggers, right? So, and then as I'm saying, I'm gonna put y'all on too. I'm not gonna push y'all on to the smell, but I'll put y'all on to the game. So part of the gifts was a roller. So this roller, you know what I'm saying, boop boop boop, put it on your body, boop boop boop, put it on your neck, and you know it makes you smell good. So I had one and it was running out. I seen on the tag it said Taj Mahal Imports Incorporated. I seen the address, Crenshaw, okay, cool. Decided to go to it on that Thursday. I thought there was gonna have to refill it, so I brought my older one, or the one that I was about to run out, to it. I get in there and it's like I just walked into heaven. All the incense you can want, all the smell good you can want, like all the natural smelling goods, it was there. And it was a moment, like, you know, I felt, because, you know, y'all know me, I'm Nigerian, you know what I'm saying, I'm from Nigeria, but I was raised in LA. So I was raised in Cali, you know what I'm saying? So I consider myself, I don't consider myself, I am black, you know what I'm saying? So this is embedded in me. So it just felt really good to just be somewhere very cultured, and it just made me realize the importance of having places like the Taj Mahal in the black community, in our communities in general, because it's just nice to have places that represent us. Because a lot of times I tell the homies, I'm like, it's so funny, we got like Koreatown, we got Chinatown, we got Little Tokyo, we got it's just, you know, I sometimes I just be like, dang, like, we don't have like no little Nigeria, we don't have no little, like, I don't know, I don't know, I just be like, damn, we need an area for ourselves where we could really, and that is Crenshaw. But I'm like, I feel like I like how they have more, I guess, established places, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I just always find it so interesting. I'm like, I'm always driving past Koreatown, I'm like, dang, like, the fact that they really, like, was able to buy this building, own this building, and change to the point where they could change the language on there, because I don't speak, you know, Korean and stuff, but you'll go there and you'll really see it in, like, their language, and it's just, I don't know, that's just cool to me, because imagine you could buy a building and then you could have it in your native language. I don't know, it's just, I guess in the topic of immigration, all this is really relevant right now, so it's not like a nigga's just, like, randomly doing it. Y'all know me, I'm a nerd, so I always make the connections with everything. So I just thought it was really nice to see that, because it kind of was like a slap in my face of, like, here I was thinking we don't have, like, areas like that for us, but it's like, no, we do have areas like that. You just got to make sure to support it, because though this thing, I'm thinking I'm finna walk in there and spend like $30 or like $27. I spent like $15, and this is some fire stuff. So it's like, if I went in there kind of trying to buy in bulk, I'd be good. Like, I love just stuff that just smells good. So the fact that I could go in there, I could get some incense, I could get like some body smells, I could get like some things like some burning oils, like, and then they had like sea moss. So it's really, and then the gentleman in there, like, he had his whole attire was just was just black, and it just really felt nice in there. And then I had I had this on, so when I was walking in, walking out, you know, a brother came in there, was like, you know, assalamu alaikum, my brother. I was so nervous, I wasn't expecting it. I got freaking choked up. Not choked up. I stood. I was like, oh, I'm my bad. I had to get myself together. So after I made my amazing purchase, and like I said, once again, shout out to the Taj Mahal. Make sure you guys go tap in with them. Tell them K-Stack sent you. Taj Mahal. I don't have no. Get the addy for y'all. It is 5454 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90043. The number is 323-295-5512. They have wholesale oils, shea butter, incense, black soap, sage. Like, if you guys recently seen anything about the I Show Speed tour in Africa, y'all know how shea butter go crazy. So they got shea butter in there. Pretty much everything you need for your natural remedy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, alright. So after I left there, I'm in such a good mood. I'm like, okay, you know, your boy's been pretty productive. I'll be honest. Like, I just, when I start thinking about women, when I start craving intimacy, it just makes me realize I'm not busy enough. So I just lock in. And recently, what I've been doing to, I feel like, help that lock in, is been doing my homework earlier in the week, because I have one in-person class, and I have 2 online classes. So my online classes, pretty much all my work is due on Sunday. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you have 7 days, but you know, you have 7 days. I can wait till Saturday. But the type of guy I am, and the type of lifestyle that I live, with this whole, you know, making podcasts, watching movies, streaming, and making music, doing stuff like that, I need to have, you know, enough time to, I feel like, give everything the right amount of attention. So what I've been doing recently is, not necessarily on Sunday, I give myself, Sunday is truly my rest days, okay? It's laundry day, upload videos day, but truly just a day for me to relax and unwind. And, you know, basically Sunday, if I'm not doing a workout on Sunday, because there's going to be those weeks where I tell you guys I did a workout on Sunday. If I'm not doing a workout, Sundays for the most part are the days where I prep for the week ahead. You know what I mean? I get myself ready, I get myself secure. So for the most part, during the week, you know, I gotta just be doing everything. So on Monday, this week in particular, I started my homework. So by the time I got to Thursday, I was already done with my homework, already done with all my online assignments, and I was just able to just be free, you know what I'm saying, to just do stuff. And I say that to say that after I left the Taj Mahal, the secret word of today is off-white. After I left the Taj Mahal, I'm like, you know, it's like, I want to say, if it's not already won something, it has to be 12 going on to win something. Because for one, I don't know how I could even like forget this. The rain was so like weird this week. I think it only rained Thursday through Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, there was just a lot of rain this week, and you guys know me as somebody that stays in LA that loves the weather. The rain is the only thing that I feel like could really like get me out of character, because the rain is just ridiculous. I don't know. It's not that I necessarily mind the rain. It's just the way that it affects. I guess it's more so like how unprepared LA is always been in response to the rain. Like, we're never like, and I don't, like I said, sue me, I guess, you know what I mean? We just never seem prepared. Like the sewers always seem overflow, water always everywhere. The roads immediately start, like, potholes that were filled immediately resurface. Like, areas get flooded so fast to where you can't even drive onto a freeway or drive onto somewhere without submerging your car a little bit. It's just a lot. And like I said, shout out to my homegirl, because man, she was showing me her weather app, and I was like, you know, I guess I shouldn't complain too much about the weather, but still, y'all, like, as that being the worst is gonna get, I'm gonna complain. Like, I'm gonna deal with it, but I'm complaining. But yeah, I wasn't really rocking with the rain, and it wasn't really necessarily an issue. You know what I'm saying? Your boy fit was hidden. You know what I'm saying? I had the Nike Tech jacket on. You know, so I was pretty good. I was pretty dry, The issue came when I tried to leave. So naturally, you know what I'm saying, I seen the movie time. The 2 movies that I ended up going to see, because yes, I did a two feature Thursdays. You guys know me, I only watch 1 movie on Thursdays, but this time around I decided to see 2 movies this Thursday. I just had extra time, and honestly, I'll be even more transparent. I had enough time to see 2 movies that Thursday, and I looked at the movie times for the rest of the week. Every movie time was 10 p.m. onward. So if I was to go to work and close, I would then be forced to have to just chill for an hour before I go see this movie. That's going to be another hour, an hour long, and then I will be leaving at 12. And you guys know me. I don't mind seeing movies late. It's just when you waking up at 4 a.m., every hour, every minute of sleep counts. Every second of sleep counts. So I try to get to sleep by 11 p.m. the latest. So if I do have to get to sleep by 12 a.m., I'm okay with it, because at least then I still get a solid 4 hours. But I try my best not to. And if I'm leaving the movie theater at 12 a.m., I gotta incorporate that plus the drive home. So when I just started thinking about that, it just immediately turned me off for wanting to see the movie any other time that week. So I was like, you know what? Both of these movies, Psycho and How to Make a Killing, they both were an hour, and I think Psycho was an hour 30, and then How to Make a Killing was like an hour 40. Both were under 2 hours. So I said, with both of them together and then with a little intermission in between, that's not going to be too bad for me to deal with. You know what I mean? And it honestly wasn't. I just really was just, it's just, I don't know what it is. Sometimes when you just like in one area too long, you just get a little bored. But the movies weren't bad. The movies were generally entertaining enough for it to keep my attention. But that's a little bit ahead. The issue came with now, I decided, okay, cool. I confirmed I'm going to go see this movie. The movie's at 2 o'clock. It's like I said, like 1 something. I'm like, okay, let me go to the car, get ready with this landscaping and everything, get ready to go watch this movie. As I get into the car, I get my ingredients ready, I noticed a fire truck. Before the fire truck, I didn't even notice, I guess I did, but I didn't peep it in the time that I should have peeped it, because there's this ticket lady's car behind me, but I knew I was parked in the right area, so I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't thinking anything of it. What's even more interesting is, man, that's what I'm saying. Life is so crazy. If you just pay attention to everything, you can see stuff. When I walked out the Taj Mahal, I seen the Taj Mahal is next to the post office, right? When I walked out, I'm seeing one of the post office ladies. She's standing outside, and it looks like she's on her phone, or she's standing outside and look like she's waiting for something, right? And I thought it was so interesting, or the reason I noticed it was because when a guest came in, she opened the door open for the guest, and I just thought it was so funny, because I was like, I know dang well the post office don't got the women out here holding the door open for the customers now. That's what we doing now? But I was like, maybe she's just on her break and was like, oh, let me be nice to this guest. But then I get in my car, I see the fire truck, or I see, like I said, I see the car, the ticket lady, the citation lady car behind me. So, and I said that to say, there's a car in front of me, there's a citation lady car behind me. I was going to just chill in the car, do what I do, and then pull off. But because I didn't know there was a fire truck coming, I didn't realize that I should have gotten in the car and actually pulled off first. Because when I got in the car, started getting a little comfortable, the fire truck pulls up, and something just tells me no. I think this fire truck is coming where I'm at. The fire truck, I kid you not, literally comes in and blocks me in to the point where now the fire truck is on the bike lane. I'm parked. There's a car in front of me. There's a citation lady behind me. And I'm like, whoa. I can't get out. So had the citation lady not been behind me, I probably could have finagled it, reversed really fast, and then it probably would have been illegal technically speaking, because I'm supposed to make way for the fire truck. But just because I peeped what was going on, I could have finagled and then drove around the fire truck before they got too parked and then been good. But because the lady was behind me, and I say the lady because I eventually see who it was, because the person was behind me, I couldn't reverse. There's a car in front of me, so I can't go forward. So I just not, and I'm, if you know me, I know how to drive, so I know how to park. I'm parallel perfectly. I'm parked nicely. You know what I'm saying? I'm really to the curb. So I'm really gonna have to. I'm telling you, this lady was not. I'm sorry, because I'm not supposed to keep saying this lady as if it's like hate towards her or something. This person was not supposed to park behind me. Granted, you're a citation person and you don't have, your car is exempt. Why you have to park behind me, man? Like, that's the whole thing, I guess, about just, everybody living their own lives. You don't know what anybody else got going on, because I guess, naturally, because the person ended up coming from the Taj Mahal too. So I'm guessing they just on some stuff like, oh, I'm finna just go in here real quick, do what I gotta do, and go about my day. It's not her fault that she didn't know that I was parked there in front. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like, it's just so much variables that I can't really blame her. But at the end of the day, I still had to blame her because that was just not the right move. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was parked in the red, I was parked in the white. I could have gave you a ticket. You know what I'm saying? I should have gave you a citation because you had me freaking in there, and I'm over there like, dang. I ain't gonna lie. I almost rage quitted. Almost was like that shit rage baited me, and I felt bad because I'm over there like, yo, nah. Cause it's like, I'm not claustrophobic or nothing like that, but it's like, they were dead ass like trapping me in. One fire truck, another fire truck. No, one fire truck, ambulance. One, and another fire truck. Like, basically, it's like 2 fire trucks and an ambulance, right? So I'm really blocked in, and the guys, they're like, I'm over there complaining, I'm like, hey, and like, nobody's answering me. One of the gentlemen, and he kind of put me onto how the fire trucks work that day too. That's in the second, I guess, compartment where, like, I don't know how the fire trucks work, to be honest. Like, this is kind of like interesting to me. But there's the driver area, and then there's another seat that he was in the back, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't in the bottom of the fire truck. He was at the top. And I'm guessing that's the area where you could see traffic ahead, you know what I'm saying? Maybe. That's what I was assuming. And he's like, oh, nah, like, at first he was like, nah, you gotta wait. But then he seen the frustration on my face and was like, hold on. Come on, try to make it fit and just try to stick to that side. Well, as soon as he said that, I said, oh, yeah. I could do this and get in an accident and then be like, why didn't my ass just stay here and be patient? Or I could just be patient and avoid any catastrophe altogether. So one thing I'm trying to learn to remind myself when I get in situations like that is this an inconvenience or a tragedy? If it's just an inconvenience, charge it to the game. If it's a tragedy, okay, be a little hurt. But in this situation, I didn't remember this at the time, so I kind of was just, like I said, I was just kind of frustrated. But I self-regulated in the sense that when I kind of realized, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I already got my ticket. I confirmed the trip from here to the movie theater is under 20 minutes. As long as they let me leave here by 2, I should be good because they have the 25 to 30 minute preview time. So that's all I'm thinking to myself. As long as they let me leave here by 2, I'm cooling. But while I'm in here, let me see what I could do to, like, you know what I'm saying, pass the time. So like I said, I already was going to have to landscape. So I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time for me to get the process started. I mean, you know what I'm saying, prep myself. So it kind of worked out in a sense because I prepped the landscaping materials, got that and everything ready. And by the time I was finished, I kind of was like, okay, like, hey, you know, let's get this show on the road. And, like, you know, within like 5 minutes after that, I ended up being free. They freed your boy from the firefighter trap. After they freed me from the firefighter trap, I headed to the AMC where I seen the movie. And like I said, you know what I mean? Went to go see Psycho. Went to see How I Make a Killing. After that, because it's Ramadan, my mom, I was going to get some food, but my mom called me. She was like, oh, do you want some Jack in the Box? So she got me some Jack in the Box. I got some Popeyes to accompany the Jack in the Box. I ain't going to lie, it had to be big bag. I got me a little 6-piece. I got me a 6-piece signature hot wings, or hot and honey, or hot and sweet and hot wings. Got that with some ranch and barbecue sauce. Took that home. I had a ultimate cheeseburger, curly fries with the 6-piece wings. Put a piece of cheese on the curly fries, cause why not? And that was what I ate to break that day. So I say all that to say that was probably a bad choice in hindsight, because this is still Thursday, and as you guys see, and nowhere in this recollection am I mentioning the part where I came back home. Well, at the movie theater during the intermission between when I finished watching Psycho, which I give after thinking about it, after leaving the theater and really after letting it resonate with me a couple days, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. After seeing Psycho, I went to my car real quick to make a TikTok, because if you guys don't know, I'm doing videos right now, like anything shirtless, anything thirst trappy, anything inappropriate, I guess. Not that I really post anything really crazy on there, but I was like, let's just switch it up, let's just observe this month, this holy month. And I feel like, in a sense, it's kind of like my offering to Allah. Like, thank you, Allah, for being so there for me, I was gonna say implemented, but being so impactful in my life, being always there for me, being there to just guide me, always make me a head and a tail, that this is my offering to you. Like, I'm going to share the knowledge of Islam, share the teachings of you, share the peace, just share the benefits of being Muslim to people without expecting anything in return. Like, I'm not doing this for anybody, I'm doing this for God. It's between me and God. So if anything, the reward is just knowing that I was successful in finishing this goal that I set out for myself to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a personal achievement for me, just to show that, like, if I needed to, I could get more serious. If I wanted to, if I needed to, like, I could be more, like, you know what I'm saying, positive, I guess you could say, or just more, just not necessarily influential, but just I could spread the word, to spread the knowledge and the teachings too, like on some peaceful type stuff, not like on some like Gandhi, because I'm not trying to change nobody's mind, I'm not trying to convince anybody. It's just to just share the benefit, and then just for anybody else that is interested, they can learn, and everything like that. And I feel like I said, I've been definitely seeing the rewards, I've been seeing the benefits of doing it. That's so funny. I know I probably shouldn't be mentioning this because it doesn't really matter, but if you guys know, I stream. I'm streaming this. That's how I record this. It said I had 1 viewer. For the most part, when I stream on my PS5, right, it would say I have 1 viewer the whole stream, and I'd be thinking it's a bot or whatever. Now it says I have 0. So there's a good chance somebody was genuinely listening to the podcast up until this point. So shout out to that person, because clearly they like what they was listening to. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much I'm saying that to say that, yeah, God has definitely been appreciative, of it. It's so funny, like, on TikTok, I don't care about views. I'm not really like a view person. But I guess for me, a video doing good is if it gets 100 views and up for me. Like I said, that's 100 people in one room. That's a lot of people. So since doing the Ramadan videos, today's day 9. At first, they were like kind of like it's like I don't want to say they're hit or miss, but some of them they get 100, some of them they do like 50. Like the last 2 videos I did, the only got to 67, but the one before that they had like 200 views. But on Instagram they've been doing really good. On YouTube I feel like it's been doing really good too, because on YouTube, if you guys know, we just recently made it to 100 subscribers, and I feel like it's so funny. That's what I'm saying. That's why you gotta really change your beliefs. You gotta really like not doubt what God can do for you and what you can achieve in general, because I'll just put it like this: I feel like it was so difficult for me to get to that 100 subscribers mark, but now that I've got to 100 subscribers, I feel like I've been getting more subscribers way faster now. Like, we just past 100 subscribers not too long ago, and now today I just woke up to 110 subscribers. And if you guys have been listening, like I said, I haven't been posting nothing, like, I haven't been doing nothing too subscriber worthy, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just been posting stuff about just the teachings of like things about in relation to Ramadan. So it's not like I'm really posting anything else on like attention grabbing, like, hey, follow me, subscribe to me. Like, I'm really just been like I said, all this is personal, and the fact that I'm still gaining supporters during that is just, I feel like it's another thing in its entirety. That's why I feel like at the end of this, like I said, you compare yourself to yourself. You don't compare yourself to anybody else. You judge yourself on where you started and where you came from, not on anybody else's path, because you don't know what they had to go through to get to where they had to get to, and they don't know what you had to go through to where you had to get through. So for me, like I said, just at the end of this, just to see any type of growth would just be a blessing, and I'll be grateful for that. And the fact that I'm only 9 days in and I'm already at 110 subscribers is like, I don't even know, man. Like I said, man, there was a point where I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna get to like 200, all that stuff. I'm like, hey, your boy we might be closer to that 1,000 subscribers more. We might be closer to 1,000 subscribers than I thought, So thank you guys for that. You feel me? Because like I said, I just been posting straight Muslim content, and y'all still been messing with it. But it's so funny because I made the TikTok in the middle of me watching the movie, went to go see How to Make a Killing, finished it, got the food, boom boom, Jack in the Box, Popeyes. But because I didn't finish, because you know what I'm saying, like I said, one man army. I have to edit the video, upload the podcast, do all that stuff. I made the episode, but I never finished it to be uploaded, or never scheduled it and set it up so it could be uploaded and be ready for Friday, because I record on Thursdays, uploads on Fridays every week. Because I just came home, ate my food, which in hindsight, like I said, one thing I've learned about myself is if I ever want to get anything done, honestly, I gotta just be hungry. Like, I could eat, but I gotta eat a small amount, because the more I eat, the more my body needs to put or focus energy to digesting the food. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna go too crazy next time, but this time, basically I'm saying I shouldn't be going too crazy when I eat. But it's the first meal of the day. It's Jack in the Box. You know what I'm saying? Your boy just finished watching 2 movies back to back. I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie. So I came home, got straight to eating the food, and you know what I'm saying? No surprise there. As soon as I finished eating the food, I fell asleep. Because I'm like, maybe I shouldn't see that. Maybe that'll make me feel less pressure. So as soon as I finished eating the food, I fell asleep, and I told myself, I said, you know what, Caduce? Because I try, I'll be honest. I said, set an hour timer, and then just wake up, and then just upload the video, and then you can go back to sleep after. I went to sleep, and I did set the timer, but I want to say I kind of woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm still tired, and I just was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it tomorrow. But that was the worst decision I could end up ever making, because on Friday, when I did wake up, like I said, I don't know, it's so weird. Last week I wouldn't say I was struggling to wake up at 4 a.m., but this week I find it so easy to wake up at 4 a.m. But last week I was waking up like 5, 6. So I woke up at 5-ish on this Friday, and I wanted to try to upload the podcast, but when I was trying to make the cover art and just downloading the video, doing all that stuff, man, Allah really put you through those situations where it's just gonna test your patience, right? Because I kid you not, I basically edited the video and had it ready to be downloaded to my computer, but it takes a long time to do that, and the amount of time it would have took for me to stay home and finish downloading the podcast to the computer, I would have set me and Donovan, shout out to my twin, behind on our hike. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just try to just let it do its thing. But if you guys know anything about the last time I did that, sometimes when I leave the computer to do it by itself, it'll just fuck up on its own. So I was like, keep an eye out for it, but gotta take the risk. So I freaking went to the hike with my twin, had a good hike. It's so funny because if you guys know anything about our hikes, we usually do the hike and then go landscape after and then get some donuts. It's Ramadan, and my twin being so forward thinking, he was like, I'm not gonna eat around this man. I'm gonna make sure to do my due diligence early. So he gets his food early, and he already eats his donut or whatever he eats before he pulls up on me. So by the time we finish the hike, we just go over there just to landscape and not really go eat or nothing. So when we finish it, that's also when he gives me this book, a book that I wanted to share to the podcast too. This book called Limitless that my twin, shout out to Donovan, like I said, once again, that he put me onto. It is called Limitless, and I am currently on page 48, and it is the #1 bestseller. It is called Limitless, and it's Reclaim Your Power, Unleash Your Potential, and Transform Your Life by Chris Crone. Yes. So, yeah, Chris Crone. So this book is pretty much, how can I summarize this in a way? I guess you could say this is a book that its goal is to help you tap into your unearthed potential within yourself and let you realize that you are too limitless, and it's really about changing the foundation of your beliefs and tracing back where those beliefs even come from, so that way you can unearth some of the trauma, some of the doubts. Like, a lot of the way that, at least for the most adults, let's just say 25 plus, or let's just say 20 plus as the book stated, by the time you get to 20 years old, you have already, not necessarily stuck in your ways, but you already have a set of beliefs that you have been basically repeating to yourself, you know what I'm saying, and that you tell yourself what that is you're on. So at this point, the book is pretty much going to help you figure out, are these good beliefs, are these bad beliefs, how to change them, how to look inside and realize that a lot of the things that you want to accomplish or you feel that you can accomplish are within your grasp. You just have to change how you go about achieving them or going about attaining them. And I feel like I've already been on this path already with, of course, as you guys can see with the whole content creation, whole podcast, debut, everything. I've been trying to figure out my own ways of being limitless, but I like the way that, God, Allah, like, basically implemented this into my, my inventory, into my Rolodex, into my life at a pivotal moment. I feel like, where I was just telling you guys earlier in the episode, where I feel like I've been kind of telling myself, like, damn, like, I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is. Niggas just get, you know what I'm saying? It's just, on some, like, like, how, like, people during the holidays, they be like, I want, like, a partner and stuff. I guess I was just having, the single nigga blues recently, and I was just like, dang, like, I was trying to fuck with somebody. But then, just realizing how much potential I have and how much I just, like I said, I just have on my plate. And then just overall, just since reading this book, just made me realize that, like, not like that, a relationship right now will put a limit on my life, where I feel like I haven't even fully tapped into my full potential to where I could really even see, like I said, myself trying to even settle down for a partner right now. But even in regards to that, though, this book still still tells me that I should still show up 100% in my other relationships, though. So, like, even though I'm not, like I said, like, romantically, I feel like I might be lacking in that right now, I can still show up, like, as a son, as a brother, as a friend, as a, you know what I'm saying, like, in those other relationships, I'm gonna put more energy into those and put more focus there, because I feel like, I don't know, like I said, I don't really get in here too much talking about, I mean, I have, but I don't get too much talking about a nigga, you know what I'm saying, past with the females and stuff. But I think there has been definitely a part of me that has, just overall just was like, dang, like, am I missing something? You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel like I'm physically getting better, mentally, spiritually. Like, I'm part of me is like, damn, I'm supposed to have a girlfriend right now? Like, but then I'm like, maybe that's just a lot right now. And it's letting me even realize too, like I said, I still have some healing to do. I still have some improvements that I still want to work on, because it's certain things that still trigger me now, you know what I'm saying, that I'm just like, you know, like I said, just friendship wise, that I'm like, dang, if just the homegirl doing this, imagine my girlfriend doing this, and I'm like, I still want to learn how to present myself and be better. So overall, I feel like this book right here is really going to help me hone in on the growth and the, I guess you could say, the metamorphosis that I've been trying to accomplish. Like, I feel like I've been on the right path, but this right here is going to help me guide and structure it better to where I feel like the goals that I'm trying to make and reach, that I feel like even like that, like I said, is like, because part of me, like I said, I'll be honest, sometimes, you know, it's one of those things where I've gotten to the point where, you know, like I said, I don't know, like sometimes you don't, I feel like you're not gonna always see the finish line, you know. Sometimes you just gotta just believe in the grind so hard, or the potential of it so much, that just like, nigga, I don't even need to see any reinforcements that it's gonna work to know that it's gonna work. That's kind of where I'm at. So I feel like this right here is going to help me hone in on that, and like that belief system, and it's going to really just help me just change that, instead of thinking that, oh, I'm doing this and just like whatever happens. No, I'm gonna be able to do it, and no, like, no, I'm putting in the work, I'm making it happen, and I'm going to see the results that I really want to put out there, which I feel like I said, I have. It's just one of those things where I just haven't really, I don't think I really have acknowledged it, you know what I'm saying, like the way that I should be acknowledging my progress, you know. Like, I keep telling myself like, oh yeah, when I graduate, but it's like, why you keep saying that when you graduate? Like, you gotta start doing stuff now. But then I realized, like I said, for me in particular, that's why I like this book, because it's like, it lets you, it pretty much tells you like, okay, yes, you are limitless, but you know what I'm saying, like, it calls a spade a spade. It's like, you have to be limitless within the rules of nature, you know what I'm saying. Like, gravity is still a thing, you know what I'm saying. So just because I feel like I can fly doesn't mean that if I jump off a cliff I'm gonna start flying. Like, gravity is confirmed to that if I jump off of a cliff, I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying, so I'm going to have to see the results of that. So it's pretty much like, hey, believe in what you want to believe in and do what you have to do, but there's still a law that you still have to abide by. So certain results are just inevitable, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, you can do that, but you're going to do that. So if you're physically not the strongest and you're trying to lift something, you're going to see the results of that. But because of stuff like, you know, technology and just advancements, that's why we have even things like planes, where even though technically speaking we can't fly, we have machines that counteract, you know, the wind turbines and stuff. Like I said, the book really goes into like really depth about like how you could really, like, you know, just be realistic, you know, and come up with a realistic plan to achieve your goals. And that's what I feel like I just need to do, and I've been working on. So that's why I don't, like I said, instead of me chastising myself about saying, oh, I'm not gonna live my life till I graduate stuff, now it's more so like, no, there was a time where I wasn't as serious, and like, you know, like I said, no regrets, you know, everything's happening where it's supposed to, but now I gotta be more locked in. So whereas I'm not necessarily saying, or I'm not punishing myself, you know, it's like, no, I'm making up and I'm working twice as hard because I know I'm so close, and rather than squander my, like I said, the results by adding too much on my plate, having too many distractions, it's rather like, no, make this the most achievable thing by doing it the best way, you know, which is, like I said, by bunkering in, just going to the gym, being to myself, you know, and like I said, not being lonely, having solitude, you know what I'm saying, choosing the people, keeping my circle small, choosing the people that I do hang out with, making sure that they're very valuable and that they're not draining to me, because like I said, it's a lot that I do, and right now it's okay for me to like focus on this for this chapter of my life, because when I get into the next chapter of my life, it's gonna be good. And even within this, like I said, I told you guys, each month paying off a credit card, working on my debt. So like I said, I'll be transparent with y'all, just paid off another one today. So, or I guess you could say yesterday I paid it, or I put it in to the thing. So that's another one down right there. Each month, because it's located at the end of the month, you know what I'm saying, like each month I save a certain amount of money per check, and then I put it towards the smallest credit card, smallest debt, so that way I can do the snowball effect. So last month I did a credit card this month. I'm doing another one, and next month I'm gonna do the same thing again. So we get all my debt to zero, and then I got student loans and stuff too, so I'm gonna have to pay those off too. But that one, I'm not really considering that one to the necessarily the debt in a sense, because that one is like it's part of the educational process, whereas these other ones have more control over. Like I don't have to have, I don't have to have maxed out all my credit cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I've just been learning about myself. I'm like, I'll be honest. Just this book is just making me deep dive and realize like, why am I the way I am? Why did I put all these limitations on what I can achieve on myself? And like, why did I embrace this version of myself? Like, especially now, like I said, like overall, just it's really just been the gym. You know what I'm saying? Just overall, like I said, just getting closer to God, just making me just realize, and then overall, just almost about to graduate is like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Making content, doing all this is like, oh, couldn't you have all this in you? And my dad was telling me, mom was telling me, people around me telling me, I don't know, I just had limits. And like I said, a part of it was, like I said, I'll be honest, not being the most, I wouldn't even say not being the most physically attractive. Just being young, you know what I'm saying? Every nigga has this ugly phase, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I feel like I definitely glowed up, but it's not one of those things where it's like, I probably shouldn't have put too much pressure on myself, or shouldn't have put too much focus on it, because like the book said, because once I did that, I started like kind of like believing it, because I started thinking I wasn't the most attractive. I didn't take the most chances because I didn't think I was the most cool. I didn't take as much, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that I embody my swag now, if I embodied my swag and my nerdiness back then, you know what I'm saying, like that, this podcast would have probably been like 100 episodes in by now, because that's why I feel like this is all just like comes natural, you feel me? And then just overall just trying to find the way that I could be of service in a sense, like creating something that helps people or that could be useful, that's the goal, so that's why I feel like fitness allows me to do that, because I like working out. I could teach people how to be healthy. I could teach, like I said, education. I feel like it helped me with that, because I can help people like expand their mind, expand their knowledge, and then just music, and then just games and stuff like that, because I can just entertain people, put a smile on people's faces. So I feel like God has definitely given me the repertoire and the talents to be able to be of use, you know what I'm saying, like find my purpose. I just gotta embrace that. And that's why, like I said, that's what I was saying with the whole trying to get a girlfriend thing. Sometimes I be just thinking like, dang, like, is a nigga lonely, or is it just, you know what I'm saying, like I said, it's a lot, bro. When you're a young horny guy, you feel me, and you got sexual urges, your nigga be trying to fuck some, you feel me, keep it a beam. But when you look beyond that, it just realized that I feel like it's just a lot that comes with it. I've been, like I said, I've told you already, been abstinent for like the last 2 years. So I've been dating, but because I'm not like, cause the homies, I tell the homies all the time, they be like, man, when's the last time you? I'm be like, I be chilling, bro. I don't really be like putting too much pressure on that, just cause I feel like once you do, it just makes things weird. And I guess that's why, like I said, I realized I guess I'm not that casual with my shit. Like, I wouldn't mind having just a girlfriend where I just be with one person, because that's just more how I prefer it, you feel me? I enjoy it that way, But that's why, like I said, I'm okay with being single till I could get to that stage of my life where I could truly pursue a woman and really get to know her, really see where we really align with and really vibe with and stuff. So that's overall, like I said, I feel like even when I finish school, when I pay off my debt, it will allow me to date with more freedom and more confidence anyway too, because a part of me also thinks that like I want to be more financially set, before I even start talking to a woman. And it's not necessarily for like to spend money on her. It's just more so like, if I can't get my habits down as a single person, I don't want to get with a girl and then now start like basically be in the same situation, but now I'm taking it out on her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, like real talk, like I know it, and I'm saying this for all the guys that be like, dang, like, bro, I'm single, I ain't got no. I know it might feel like, dang, like it's been forever, and hey, it might have been forever. It might be forever, but if you know, at least in my opinion, if you know for real, the type of caliber man you are, you know you're not the type of nigga that's on some bullshit. You know you really want to treat a woman right, and you don't want to, like I said, you don't want it to be on some shit where it's like you're losing her because you're self-sabotaging it. Just take the time to get yourself right. You know you gotta, you know what I'm saying, pay that car note, take care of that credit card bill, you know what I'm saying, finish that degree, do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying, finish that trade, get a better job. If you feel like that's what is gonna help you, like, for sure, be more, I guess you could say, balanced, you know, in yourself, I say do that, because that's what I'm doing now. Because I'm telling you, at the moment I feel like I try to, in a sense, like, have the best of both worlds, like, try to pursue a woman, and I'm still not where I feel like I want to be at in life. I feel like I just end up having so much doubt that I always just self-sabotage it. And then I feel like God is so amazing in a sense, because I don't know. I don't want to say it like that, but sometimes I just feel like stuff happens to where I get lucky. I'll be like this. I'll put it like this, where it's like, it's not even like, pretty much the bridge don't get burned. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't get to the point where she realized how scared I was. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'll be honest. This is my platform, and I've gotten to the point where those that want to listen will listen, and those that don't want to listen won't listen. So I don't really care anymore. If you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not after the clout, so I'm not gonna clip the parts that I know are embarrassing, and then when they go viral, be like, oh my god, why is it going viral? If I'm gonna say something embarrassing, I'm gonna say it, but it is what it is. I'm okay with saying that. I feel like, I don't know, man. Maybe, like I said, it could just be too much social media, but I just be feeling like a nigga cannot be broke dating, bro. I don't know, man. Like I said, I haven't, in my humble opinion, I feel like I haven't got to that point, the older I get at least, where I feel like I could be the type of guy that's like dating and be struggling to pay my bills. I'll just put it like that, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say that, like, I'm saying that, like, I could be good with my bills, but I feel like women are so expensive nowadays, bro. Just call a spade a spade. Women are so expensive nowadays that I feel like you might as well get your career first before you even, like, try to start talking to them. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know. If you just trying to fuck, by all means do that. But like I said, man, it's like, cause you know what I mean. Like I said, I'm a psych major, so it's one of those things where research has shown, and it's shown time and time again, people don't really be saying how they really feel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, or they don't really live how they really feel. Like, in a sense, like, a nigga be like, man, nigga be fucking all these girls, right? And they be like, bro, I'm okay with being single, I'm okay with this. But it's like, you know, when the nights get lonely, he wants someone to really be with. So I feel like I've gotten to that point where I'm past trying to fake the funk of, like, okay, like, I'm gonna be outwardly showing this, but deep down, internally, this is how I really feel. So it's like, I'd rather not fake it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm the type of guy that, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, of course, with the economy, it may not make the most sense for a guy to pay all of a girl's bills, you know? But I'd rather be comfortable enough to where, at least, like I said, like, I could take her on dates. I could pay for the meals, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it won't be too much on me to where I'm feeling like, damn, I gotta do this. Because, like I said, it's one of those things where, yes, I know, because I know my niggas probably gonna be like, yo, like, in reality, a woman should want to be able to, like, work with you. But it's like I said, I don't know. From what I've seen, the you better off just being, and I'm not saying also shit where it's like you pay everything, you know what I'm saying, because you want her to have some autonomy too. But I'm like, you better off being in a position where you won't be dependent on anybody. You know what I mean? Because when you more independent, then you really have the choice and you have the freedom. But like I said, I'm not trying to be on some shit where it's like I'm making a lot of money to mess with a whole bunch of girls. I just rather just be able to mess with one girl and be comfortable, have kids, have a house, and do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm like. I'd rather go to school, get my career, get all that stuff, rather than doing these little dates, you know what I'm saying, where it's like I'm a, you know what I'm saying, I know right now going out to eat and spending $100 on dinner, I'm gonna feel that. You feel me? And it's like I said, call me cheap. That shit just don't make sense right now, bro. So I feel like when I get my career and I'm making like, you know what I'm saying, 6 figures a year, I won't feel that bad when I'm dating. You know, because I'm not, like I said, I'm already not pressed to hit. I'm more so pressed for like the investment aspect. Like I don't mind taking a girl out and spending, you know what I'm saying, and doing all that stuff. I just rather know that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't want to waste my money. Let's call this spade a spade. I don't gotta hit. I just don't want to waste my money because I'm gonna be like, fuck. I could have saved this money or I could have invested it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying, that I feel like would be good. And that's why, like I said, once you got yourself a little shorty, you don't feel bad because it's like, okay, cool. That's your investment. She's invested in you. You guys already know. But you have to have the girl that has that same mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's just about vetting them. And like I said, being a cheap nigga trying to date, it's just not it, bro. Because if you feeling like how I'm feeling, it just don't work right. And then rather than be chastised by these women, I just like I said, I recognize my situation, I recognize my strongs, and I recognize my weaknesses. I'd rather not even do that. So, but like I said, that's why maybe a nigga could just be needing some more healing, because that's what, you know, that's what this is for. Maybe I gotta just find better relationships, or I gotta find the trauma that makes me feel like I gotta have my life together before I could date, you know. But like I said, I feel like realistically speaking, in this day and age, realistically speaking, like I said, our dads, our parents, they had a time where you could be, you know what's funny? Like I said, I'm saying all this and I know there's girls out there, there's women out there that would take me as I am. I just ain't found them yet. So, like I said, till that's the case, yeah. But I feel like, realistically speaking though, like I said, with the society we're in, you're just better off being a secure male. I'm telling you, bro. Because then you could really do you, bro. You could travel the world. You could do what you want to do. You could eat what you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that, you know? And then, like I said, it won't be no pressure. You know what I'm saying? You won't spend no money and regret it. You know, you'll have confidence, you know? Because I'm not the type of nigga that's, like I said, I'm not going to leave with my wallet. It's not like I'm saying that. I'm so sure it's like, oh, I'm going to be buying girls Chanel bags. Nah, maybe my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like when we really, you know what I'm saying, together. But it's just like I said, I don't want, especially because like I said, I just don't want me trying to court her to me be like also she where it's like, okay, all right, I paid for the first 3 dates. When's she gonna pay for hers? Like no, if it's also shit where it's like, because I feel like I said, as a man, if I ask her out, I'm supposed to be the one to cover the bill. You know what I mean? I feel like the ideal woman though is going to be on some shit where it's like she just notices like, okay, like, hey, if he's paying for this, let me pay for this. If he's paying for that, let me pay for this. Ideally, but I know not every girl sees that way, so I'd rather be like on some shit where it's like, if I am the nigga that's offering or asking her on dates all the time, hey, I'd rather be better off to take her out on dates, because how it is right now, let's put it like this, I would have to, if I was to do with a girl, I feel like I would have to take her out every other week, and I don't know, like I said, maybe too much social media. The way they made it seem, it's like you gotta take a girl out every 5 days. Like, damn, that's too much for me, bro. They just seem, like I said, it just seems too expensive, and for everything I have on my plate, that just seems like another expense that maybe when, like I said, the tides are a little better, like I said, my debt is a little less, and I do that, I'll be good. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I feel like there's a part of me that's always like, dang, like, nah, I should be able to date and do all this, but it's like, no, why not just take the year? I know, like I said, 2 years, but I've been trying, you know what I'm saying? But why not just take the time to really just say fuck it, like no distractions, no, not even like no even attempt, just really just lock in on this plan to like handle that, so that way that's not an issue. You feel me? Because that's what all it is. It's just a nigga just on some shit where it's like, I want to make sure all my bills are taken care of, and this is not an extra bill. You feel me? I want to be able to be like, okay, I got enough spending money to take her out, and get to know her. You feel me? Oh God, because I'm telling you, you don't get a lot of more misses than you get before you get a hit. But if you in a better position, I feel like better. Like I said, I feel like I'll just exude more confidence, you know, because I know like, okay, hey, you know, I could take her to, we could go to, like I said, I'm not really no super duper expensive restaurant ass nigga, but I'm the type of guy that, like I said, I want to be able to buy food when I want to buy food, and buying food for two, I know. Y'all might be looking at me like, oh, what is he talking about? The niggas get it. The guys know. It's just, I'm just saying the silent part out loud. A lot of guys that's out here on some shit like, oh, man, I'm single because I don't want a relationship. Yeah, right. You want a relationship. You just know when them holidays come up. Then yeah, you when it's Christmas, when it's Valentine's Day, when it's her birthday. You know you freaking you started an argument, and that shit. When your man starts an argument every Christmas, don't wonder why. When your man starts an argument every time it's your birthday, every time it's Valentine's Day, start putting two and two together. Yeah, this nigga's not trying to buy me shit. Exactly, and especially in this day and age where, like I said, hey, women, like I said, y'all can say I'm capping. It's like, it's not even for them. It's like, okay, what is my friends gonna think? Like, I gotta get to show off. And then on top of that, we got older niggas with the money coming through, paying all the bills for the women. So it's already fucking up the game. So it's like, even if I wanted to be on some shit where it's like, okay, I want to find a girl that's not gonna make me have to pay for every bill. If there's an old nigga coming through talking about something, shorty, why you dealing with that nigga? He not paying all your bills. He ain't doing this for you. If I was her, that's what I'm saying. I'll be honest. I'm not the nigga that's hating on that. If there is somebody out there that will provide for you and take care of your lifestyle completely, go for it, sis. Because I'm not that nigga. You gon' put some effort on this team. If you joining the Staydownla regime, you join the Staydownla camp, you joining the Caduce, the K-Stacks, it's a team. It's a conglomerate effort. Like I said, sometimes it's going to be 100-0, sometimes it'll be 50-50, sometimes it'll be 60-40, sometimes it'll be 40-60. We're both putting in effort. That's why I'm like, I can't wait to have a kid, in a sense, because I'm going to take my time to choosing the wife. I'm going to change my time. Like, everything, I'm going to do it very intentional, so that way I could show up the very best. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have some really dope parents. My parents done the very best they can. They're such amazing parents for me that I feel like they instilled in me what I really want. Like I said, like, my dad from the get-go was really, he was putting me on game. No cap. My dad was like, nah, Kudus, go to school, go to this. So now that I know, I want to pass that knowledge on to my kids. And like I said, now that I know better, I'm about to do better. You feel me? Y'all finna see. You guys know me. I don't really like to talk about stuff as I'm doing it. That's why I'm giving you guys an overview of the debt. But once I'm done paying it off, I'll tell you guys how much money in debt I was, how I did it, how much I was saving and everything like that. But you know, the haters be listening. You feel me? I know God got me, but like I said, I know how the internet works. That's why I speak what I speak when I speak, because like I said, it's a lot of BS. But you know, the niggas that get it, get it. The ones that don't. You feel me? So yes. So I know that was a long tangent. But no, I just had to get that off my chest, honestly speaking, because I've been you know, like I said, you know, this is like my therapy. This is like my diary, where I can be really vulnerable. And that's something that I feel like I said, has been on my mind, and I've been feeling bad about it. You know what I'm saying? I've been feeling bad, like, dang, like, am I wrong for, like, you know what I'm saying, like, not trying to get girls, like, trying to get myself together? But it's like, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to get yourself together to be the best version of you. Yes, it might seem like you're missing out on pussy. It might seem like you're missing out on all these events and all this shit right now, but you're working towards something more tangible. I'm working on something. Like I said, I've always thought about longevity. Bro. Like, it's so crazy. There's always been times where I've always been like since a kid, bro. Since I was young, I was like, I want to make music. I want to be a rapper, but how am I going to make money? Like, how am I going to last? Like, I've always thought about that. Like, I always thought how can my music be the, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like I started making more realistic, adjustments to my plans. I was like, you know what, man? There's a lot of shit I would have to do to really be the best rapper. Then I'm like, okay, I don't think I want to put 100% investment into the rap, because what if it doesn't work? I'd rather, like I said, go to school and do this. But I was going to school trying to be a nurse because of my dad. But I really should have realized that I should have figured out what I wanted, which was psychology, and should have just full-fledged did it. But I got into it. COVID happened. Got distracted. I won't even say I lost the ball. I would say I just put my focus into other things. Like, I started putting my focus into trying to make money, but like I said, I never changed my spending habits. I never really bunkered down and figured out how to really increase my financial. I never really took the time to actually try to figure out how to improve my financial situation. I was just kind of just winging it, But recently this year, overall, like I said, just even with the working out, I really figured out, okay, how am I going to lose this weight? How am I going to get a six-pack? Okay, cool. How am I going to graduate? How am I going to make this happen? Okay, cool. How am I going to pay off this debt? How am I going? Once I actually started bunkering down and making the plan, it made me realize that I was winging it, and I was you know what I'm saying, I was living up to unrealistic standards that I didn't need to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need to be the most coolest guy. You know what I'm saying? I could have been okay with I would have been okay, better off, I guess you could say, just embracing who I was instead of trying to contort to what I feel like would get me accepted or be, I guess, received better by people. Like I said, I feel like since I've been embracing the caduce, the weirdness, the shit that I'm interested in, like anime, you know what I'm saying, talking, just, movies, all this stuff. I feel like since I've been embracing all that, I've been seeing way more results and way more, I guess, actual improvement. I guess you could say scaling. The scaling has been more better. And then just overall, just like I said, just letting go of this unnecessary weight of unrealistic standards. You know what I'm saying? Having a certain way I had to have everything look. Nah, we gonna just make it look the way that it makes sense for me. You feel me? So yeah, like I said, hey, you feel me? It's your boy K-Saxapy. You guys gotta fuck with your boy. You know what I'm saying? This gonna make sense when it makes sense. But yeah, man. So overall, on that Friday, I did just have Mashud, because like I said, after I finished the hike, the podcast didn't upload. Had Mashud help me finish uploading the podcast. Came through to the house, put it on my platforms, had it uploaded everywhere. It was cool. Then I just went to work, and I ain't gonna lie, I wasted my money. I went to work, I got some Wingstop. The Wingstop was not it, but ended up getting, I don't know why I even got it. I already had lunch that day, but when your eyes is bigger than your stomach, you just get more food. It was a situation like that, so I ended up getting some extra food from Wingstop. Loki was a waste. Went home, didn't really even eat it. On Saturday, just had an early morning gym session, upper body. Then I went to work, and that's when I realized what I was saying just now. When I was like, man, I'm probably just not busy enough. I gotta just really set a plan and really figure out the stuff, and cause, and then like I said, and it's so funny. I wouldn't even say it's me. I think sometimes it just be like I said, comparing. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking oh man, seeing people have kids. I'm like, dang, I'm 26. I'm like, I'm supposed to be having my kid. I'm supposed to be having my girl. I'm supposed to be settling down, doing all that stuff. But it's bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, with the plan that I want to do, it's gonna take a while. So it's shit. I'd rather do it, and then hopefully, hey, I'm open to it. If a down ass girl comes through and she's like, I'm willing to be part of the plan and part of the process and trust the process, I'm with you. But like I said, I know in this day and age, there's a lot of BS. There's a lot of BS out there. So I don't got no time to, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to. It's kind of like cause I've been really like been feeling like this too. Like the whole saying of you won't like someone that's happy won't be mean. Someone that's miserable, you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much like how they say that if someone is truly, you know, like if it doesn't offend you or if it doesn't really align with you, you won't be offended type shit on some shit like that. I'm really trying to just be on somewhere. It's like I probably just don't know how to say it, but essentially what I'm getting at is that I'm trying to really be happy and not on some like for fake or for like for show, because I feel like it will truly reflect in all my behaviors, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, like on some shit where it's like I said, like when I first started working out, I felt like I was like trying to bully people in a sense. Like I was trying to tell people like, oh, like yeah, like you niggas don't really be working out, because if you were working out, you would see it. But since doing it more often and being in the gym so consistently, it's taught me to be more humble. You know what I'm saying? Like more kinder when it comes to people, and more like patient and understanding when it comes to people working out. Because I feel like, yeah, I could be the person that is like, oh yeah, I've already accomplished what I want to accomplish in the gym, so I could talk to everybody type of way. But I feel like what would that get me? You know what I'm saying? Like instead I should be more understanding, more patient, more gentle with people. Like that way they could achieve their goals better. Because I feel like now that I'm, you know what I'm saying, like I said, once you really do what you say you do, you don't gotta prove it to nobody. Like I said, I really work out, I really make content, I really do all this, so I don't really have to convince nothing to nobody. So that's why I feel like once I start living the life I live, I won't have to force it, I won't have to fake it. And I feel like a lot of times that kind of be what be holding me back, is I feel like I'm not faking it, but I feel like I'm not fully embracing it like I want to. So that's why I said I want to do everything I need to do, so that way I can fully embrace the Caduce I want to do. Because I feel like the reason why I was doing the shit I was doing back then, I wasn't seeing no results, was because outwardly I was like, you know, presenting like, yeah, I'm the big bag content creator. Like I was saying case stacks, but I wasn't dropping no music. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, where there was a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Like my heart and my brain weren't matching. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like what I was saying wasn't matching with what I was doing. But now that what I'm saying matches what I do, I don't feel the need to have to be so strong about it. I don't feel the need to be so loud about it. You know. But that's basically what I was trying to get at. You know, like yeah. So I feel like now that I'm fully embracing that, that's why I'm okay with like chilling and shit and being like, okay, cool, I could be single and stuff, because I'm really him, you know. So it's like, nah, hey, if a real cool girl comes around, yes, I'm gonna let her know. But I'm like, hey, I know the type of generation we are, and I know that women do want providers. So I'm not gonna be that type of nigga that's not aware of his surrounding. You feel me? Because like I said, it's so easy nowadays to be a womanizer. It's so easy to be considered like a manipulator. You tell a girl, oh man, I'm working on this right now. Now all of a sudden you played her for 6 months. Nah. But when you really that guy and you really got shit going for yourself, and you tell a girl, hey, I'm doing this, I'm working on this, if she don't want to work with it, she could leave, and you not gonna trip. And since, like I said, last 2 years I ain't been tripping. You come, you go. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm headed, and I know that once I get there, my family gonna be straight. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna be straight. I'll tell you that. So if you know what I'm saying, a nice queen want to come across and be a part of this kingdom, I'm all for it. But if not, I'm okay. I don't know. Cause I was thinking the other day, I was like, dang, all my idols are single. So I was like, maybe I'm not doing that. Maybe I'm not doing that bad shit. The niggas I be looking up to, they do not have no girlfriends. They don't be having no wives. Isn't that crazy? They be single. It's like, it's really rare. I feel like a successful guy really is like successful and has a woman. And I always find that weird, bro. And I'm like, I guess that's like the fear of like, oh, getting famous and then, oh, all these girls being gold diggers. I don't think I'm have that issue. I think it's just more so like, cause I feel like I could vet a girl really good. You know, I feel like I could tell. I think it's just more so like, is a woman gonna be able to deal with a nigga like me being able to just tell, like, yeah, like if you want some bullshit, I could read you from across the room. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe you know when they say maybe you too strict, maybe I'm too strict too. Cause my standards are high. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I remember somebody was telling me I could have any girl I want. I really could. But I don't just want any girl. You know what I'm saying? I really want a solid woman that has her own thing going for herself. That we could come together, and make a whole thing. You know, someone that I could learn from, that I could teach as well. That loyal, passionate. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, has good taste, knows how to cook, but not also sure it's like, she need to know how to cook so she cook for me. I know how to cook too, so you gotta know how to cook, you know? Likes to work out, or is at least athletic, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be working out. I feel like that's what be, I ain't gonna lie, that's what really be scaring these girls. That's the real reason I'm single. These girls do not be trying to work out, bro. They do not be trying to wake up early, so until I don't know. And that's not no offense to the women in the gym that I do be seeing, because I feel like y'all obviously are there, but I'm too scared to talk to y'all. I feel like y'all do not be trying to be approached. So I do not approach. So then on Sunday, because like I said, it was just Saturdays at work. On Sunday, early morning wake up, I had to do my laundry, uploaded some videos to YouTube to my Twitch. Had some plantain and eggs. Been having a lot of plantain this week. That's low-key been the theme of this week. Fried plantain. Went to work, then came home, and then had some rice and plantain for dinner. On Monday, I woke up early for leg day. Started my homework early this week, like I was telling you guys earlier. Do it on Monday. Been continuing to read the book. So far, when I only read the book for 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, because I don't know. I have to be honest. I have to get back used to reading. You know, it's been a while since I really been like sat down and read a book. So my attention span is not all the way there yet. You know, I'm trying to keep it to where I don't read and then be on my phone type shit. So I'm just doing 15 minutes every 15 minutes on my shift, and then I'm gonna start trying to do it on my off days. But when I'm off, I ain't gonna lie, I be trying to relax. So reading my book, I probably because my twin told me, he said he does it like he would read like 30 minutes before he goes to bed. Sometimes before I go to bed, I be about to eat. So when I'm about to go to bed, I'm about to go to bed. Reading just be seeming like a lot. So like I said, that's my current belief. I'm gonna have to change that belief and improve that, and I'll probably keep you guys updated. So after, like I said, I didn't really eat the Wingstop. Ended up giving it away because I didn't eat it and stuff. I went to the gym on Monday. Like I said, leg day. This goal this week too, I haven't been trying to spend no money because it's Ramadan, so I'm like, I've been just trying to eat at home. So Loki been doing a really good job at that, I ain't gonna lie. Only thing I spent money on was some V-Bucks, I ain't gonna lie, because they dropped the solo leveling. They had the solo leveling skin in Fortnite, so you know I had to cop it. I'll be honest about that, I did cop it. And then I got home early from the gym, so I was like, I might as well go open. So I went to work, opened, and I came home, ate my food, made some more rice, and made some more stew and plantains. Shout out to the Chicken Cafe, California Chicken Cafe. Shout out to my mom, she got some chicken from there. And it has some fire ass house potatoes. They have some potatoes with some sweet potatoes. I don't know in what society they do that, regular potatoes and sweet potatoes. I don't really like sweet potatoes, so I took all the sweet potato out, but they had some potatoes with like some onions and stuff. It was really, really good. Had the onions with the potatoes, some jollof rice, fried plantain, and then some stew. I've literally been eating that the last 3 days, like, and some chicken, no cap, and of course my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So if you guys want to know how I have a physique like this, because for all the people that's watching at home or that's watching on YouTube, yes, there's no cap in my rap. Like, when I say I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do everything, that's why I said, I'm like, okay, I'm really about to just lock in and just take care of my spending. Like, I'm really about to change my broke mindset, because it's like, it's not that you're broke, it's just you have a lot of money, you're spending more than you're saving, your out is going in. So also doing dating on top of that would just be too much. So change your spending habits, save a little more money, so where at least you can have a little dating, have a little dating budget. I don't have a dating budget right now. That's really what it is, So I'm like, yeah, I'm finna fix that shit this year, so that way next year I can have a dating budget. And if I don't have a dating budget, shit, hey, fuck it, start doing the casual shit. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I'm so selfish, bro. Like, I'm okay with a girl that's single, mess with other guys. It's just, if I'm trying to fuck with you and you doing shit like that, I can't fuck with it. And I feel like the only way you can really do that, I'm telling you, women are probably be like, oh my god, you're tripping for all you're thinking. My niggas is out there know what I'm saying though. I feel like you gotta really be able to show a girl that like you can really be her man. Like, I'm telling you, women are lucky in a sense, and I'm not saying this because I don't want to be a woman, but a man has to show you he could be your husband in the talking stage before you take him seriously. A woman don't have to show you nothing. Because I'm like, bro, you trying to fuck with her. And I always find that funny, and I'm like, hey, like I said, if there's double standards that we're going to be cool with, if that's a double standard that we're going to allow, my double standard is that my girlfriend cannot be an actress, because I don't want her kissing other niggas. Straight like that. So if we going to do double standards, we'll do double standards. But then after I've been eating that, you know what I'm saying? Just been, like I said, just trying to plan more meticulously. And I feel like he's been doing a really good job. Because even this podcast, this podcast episode, the attention was very unprepared. But overall, I'm still good because I have the topic list and we're still on schedule. So there's no issue. So then on Tuesday, like I said, I've been doing a really good job of waking up early this week. Woke up early. I'm off on Tuesday because of class. It was upper body day. Did a lightweight workout from Instagram that I found. This gentleman did. It was a dumbbell workout. Man, I ain't gonna lie. This nigga said it was lightweight. Let me actually shout this person out because I don't mind. Like I said, we don't gatekeep over here. But it was a dumbbell workout that I did in the gym, and involved some isometric holds and stuff like that. It was just crazy. But so this is what I did. What's so funny? I was on the right page, and I told myself, I said, no, it's not on this page. But it was on this page. It was on my main page. But yeah, shout out to T.Donovan17. I was doing his at-home arm workout to get shredded, lightweight edition. And I don't know why he put lightweight edition, because nothing about this workout was lightweight. I kid you not. My arms were done for. Oh, his name is Don Ajayi. You know what's funny? And that's why, and I'm telling you, all this topic is similar, because that's why I'm like, maybe, just maybe, I might really have to career and fitness, and then just make that a side hobby. Not like side, but try to get some money from there too. Whatever I could do that's gonna be positive, that could teach people stuff. And working out, health, that's something positive, you know what I'm saying? So for sure. I'm just like I said, just brainstorming stuff, just figuring out my life's purpose, while I'm making a podcast, that type of stuff. So yeah, so shout out to T Donovan. So I did his workout on between Tuesday and Wednesday. I started it on Tuesday, I finished it on Wednesday, and I also did this guy, shout out to Ski Beep. I did his hammer curls, where he does it, I don't know how to really explain it, but pretty much you did the hammer curls, you have it between your legs, and then you have it go up to your face. And then I finished off with Clem Daylay's How to Get Bigger Shoulders routine. So that's basically what the workouts that I did this week. Monday was leg day. It kind of switches up every week, but generally speaking, it's the same routine, just different variations of squats, different variations of ankle workouts. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my upper bodies. So I kind of like try to switch it up. Some days I focus on the chest, some days I focus on the biceps, some days I focus on the back. So this week was kind of like bicep, tricep focused. But on Tuesday, it's so funny because after the workout I was tired. I almost didn't want to go to class, but I made sure I still went to class, and it's actually really good that I did because I went to class. I ended up finding out that we didn't have no lab, so it was actually good that I had to class. I only had lecture, and if you know anything about lecture is the easiest part of school. Like if you can't go to lecture, you might as well not go to school you might as well not go to college because it's just sitting there, listening, and participating. If you can't do that part, the rest of the college is going to be difficult. And I'm saying that because, like, lecture is the bare minimum. I'm telling you guys, once you get to college, it's a different form of freedom that is like no other. Nobody's going to be on your ass. Nobody's going to... Your teacher will literally tell you, because that's what it is right now. My teacher told us, like, yeah, like, you have grades. You get graded for attendance. But sometimes you don't do attendance. So it's really also stuff where it's like, I really don't have to show up, but there's that chance that I don't show up and she does take attendance and I get docked it. So I have to just show up just in case. But there's professors that don't even have that as an issue. There's professors that don't even have that as a stipulation of like, oh, you got to make sure to come to class because of attendance. You got to make sure to show up because of attendance. Because if you don't show up, you're going to be affected negatively. Imagine a person that doesn't have that. So you're really not going to show up. You really just want to do it when you want to do it. So I'm just so glad that I'm disciplining myself. You know what I'm saying? Reaffirming, getting back used to like just the whole school process of just, because like I said, senioritis is a motherfucker. I'm so close to the finish line, bro. I'm so close to the finish line. I can literally taste my graduation. I can literally. That's why I'm telling you all this is going to make sense when I graduate. When everything, it's cool. But because I'm a Scorpio, I can't reveal the whole plan as it is. You know what I'm saying? I gotta just give you guys little tidbits. You know what I'm saying? And then if you could figure it out from what I say, by all means. But I'm not gonna be that foolish to just say everything that's laid out plainly. But I'm just know I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. So for me, it's more so like, okay, cool. Let's just secure the bag and secure the outcome as much as possible. And like I said, by going to school, treating it like it's the first semester, make sure I go to every class, that's how I feel I could do it. So even though I don't be wanting to, I still be going there. And it's not that I don't want to. It's really just to commute. If I could teleport to school, I would go to school every day. It's just, I don't be feeling like driving. Because to work 5 days a week and then to still go to school 2 days a week and then still one person. Sometimes you just want your off day to be an off day. You just want your off day to be an off day. If you know, you know. So, like I said, I was happy I still went to class. Just went to just listen. After class, landscape, headed home. It was a nice Tuesday. Like I said, I already started my homework on Monday. I decided to just, because for the most part, I ain't gonna lie, I did a good amount of my homework on Monday. So I was like, on Tuesday, I don't really have to do no homework. I'm gonna just stream. So I just came home, streamed some GTA, streamed some Fortnite with the homie Rashid, and then it's so funny because I got so tired that right when I was supposed to break, I ended up taking a nap. Woke up from the nap, landscaped again, ate some more rice and dodo, and then played some more GTA, and then went to sleep at 11. And it's so crazy because normally when I take naps in the middle of the day, I try to wake up and do stuff. I low-key can't do it. But like I said, I've been so strong this week. Everything's been working out this week. The fruits of my labor, the seeds that I've been planting, everything is... And that's why, like I said, like, I'm glad I have this book because it's reminded me I have to acknowledge the growth. I have to... If nobody else is seeing my worth, if nobody else is seeing my value, I have to see my value. Caduce, you have come a long way. I'm proud of you, Caduce. I'm so proud of you. 35 weeks of consistency on Instagram. I've been posting reels, videos for 35 weeks straight. 110 subscribers on YouTube, bro. If nobody's gonna say I'm proud of you, Caduce, I'm proud of you, Caduce. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, bro. You're doing that. Like, that shit's crazy, bro. Nobody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh God. That's why it'd be so funny, like, it'd be funny. I just be peeping shit out, or be hearing shit, I was like, man, if only you knew, like, cause sometimes, like, sometimes you hear people that be like, man, cause I'm not trying to say this, like, what she said was wrong, or, like, there's anything issue, but my coworkers today, I I don't think this is gonna be too revealing. But yeah, I was working, or I'm sitting on my phone, pretty much getting my topic list together for today's podcast, and then she comes up to me, she scares me. Another coworker was like, "Oh, like, yeah, you know, he's so famous, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's replying to all his fans. He's like getting on the hearts." And I thought I was fucking. I'm like, hey, you would think, right? You would think, like, and you would, I don't know, maybe not even you would think, but like, it's funny that she, I guess, thinks like that of me, like, oh, I'm famous, that I'm getting out, I love. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, no, I just do it for the love of the game. Like, I genuinely have a passion for this stuff. That's why I do it. But if I was getting that type of support, that would, of course, that would make it even more enjoyable and more lit. But it's just so funny hearing stuff like that, because it's like, nah, like, y'all don't even be knowing. Like, nah, it just be me. It just be me. It be me, myself, and I on that stream, and I still go stream. It be me, myself, and I watching these videos, listening to this podcast, and I'm still going to drop the podcast. I don't care. But when I do get there, it's going to be so dope, because it's going to be like, everybody that wasn't fucking with me before, or that didn't know about me, because like I said, I just feel like I'm just one of those niggas that's just undiscovered. You know, I don't have that much light on my I don't have that much attention on myself. But sometimes attention is bad. Sometimes too much attention too early, especially when you're not too established or you're not good at it, it could fuck you up. So I think God is like making sure, like, okay, like, nah, Kudus, I want you to get good at making podcasts, get good at making content before I bring you the fans and bring you the support. Because like I said, we don't call them fans over here. Bring you the supporters, so that way I don't get over, you know what I'm saying? I don't get in my head. I don't build a false ego, and then I could still have that same passion and fire to do it. Because if you could do it when no one's watching, imagine how I'm gonna feel when everybody's watching. I'm probably gonna work 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So yeah, I went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday, woke up early for the rest of the lightweight workout. Like I said, did another shoulder workout. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna open all week this week. But when I opened on Monday, because I was supposed to close all week. Well, I'm supposed to close in general. I told my coworkers I wanted my availability to be closed, but my other coworker, she's currently, she's on PTO. Cause like I said, I know I don't talk about work on here, so sometimes when I want to talk about work, I'm scared. I'm like, can I say this on there? I know I don't talk about nothing about the job, but I can talk about this. It's just general conversation. It's just availability. Yeah. So my coworker was like, oh, like, my coworker went on vacation, so I was like, you know what? I can kind of open this week. Why not? And I finished my workout so early, I was like, I might as well go open. But when I opened that Monday, my coworker, when he came, he was like, oh, I thought you were supposed to close. And I don't know. You know, like I said, as a psych major, as someone that takes everything to heart, I heard that comment and I felt bad. I was like, damn, did he want me to close? I got you, bro. I got you. So the rest of the week, I was like, you know what? Since that's what the schedule says, I'm going to stick with the schedule. But depending, because tomorrow I kind of want to open, but I kind of want to open for selfish reasons. I kind of want to open because I want to ride my bike to work. So it's not because I want to open because I want to do anything. I just want to ride my bike to work, so I know it's more safer for me to ride my bike in the daytime than it is at nighttime. My dad has a bike light. I just gotta find it. Gotta find that shit and I can put on my bike. Cause that light right there is such a nice. It's so bright. Then I'll be good. But I've been cheaping out. I gotta invest in a new bike light so that way I can ride my bike at night and stuff. I don't have to ride my bike at night. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to ride my bike at night, but it would be nice, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, one, that would save money. Two, that's just a nice workout. And three, it's such a I'm doing 18 miles at the beach every time now, that my trip to work being less than that, it's like, why not do that? You know what I'm saying? Why not get that, you know? Especially if the only thing I'd have to worry about is just bringing a spare clothes, you know what I'm saying, and just changing. That's not that deep, bro. Y'all, and I might smell like sweat. It is what it is. So what? But yeah, after that though, like I said, I just went to work on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Came home. I was going to stream yesterday, but I just knew, I was like, you know what? Why force it? So I just went to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I'm going to wake up early for today. And now we done made it to Thursday. So that was the weekly recap with a little bit of why Caduce is single. So that way, if anybody's wondering why is Caduce single, I'm single because I know I'm not cheap. I know I like to eat good, and I know that I'm probably gonna have a girl with expensive taste, and I know right now that's gonna be a lot. So till I could afford that, your boy gonna be single. But it's not gonna be that long because, like I said, once I get this degree, I'm gonna get a better job, make more money, and then, like I said, just have better investments. Like I said, I'm not making all this money so I can just date girls. No, I'm making all this money so I can have a freaking better life. You feel me? But of course, that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? A baddie? You feel me? Come on now. Shit. But I say all that to say that shit, you could get a girl, you know what I'm saying? Like in general, on some real talk, you know what I'm saying? Because, nigga just potted. On some real shit, I gotta be able to get a girl that's gonna fuck with me for me. But it's 2026, y'all. Do we even have girls like that anymore? Like, do they come like that anymore? Like, is that even an option? Like, I don't even think they come like that no more. So, we could talk about the movie Psycho Killer and How to Make a Killing. Yeah, why not? Because honestly speaking, these movies are pretty straightforward. At least Psycho was straightforward to where I feel like How to Make a Killing is not gonna be too crazy. So, like I said, got a new thing that I'm doing now to where I don't go too crazy with explanations. So what is Psycho Killer? Psycho Killer is a movie about a police officer that tracks a killer after her husband, a highway patrolman, becomes one of his villains. becomes one of his victims. So Psycho Killer. Psycho Killer was a movie that I was kind of looking forward to. I'm not gonna lie. I seen it in trailer. It looked like it reminded me of Long Legs. Not even it reminded me. It's pretty much Long Legs. It's Long Legs without a detective that has the ability to figure him out, and of course the big ass twist of Long Legs. I don't want to have to go into too much detail about that. But generally speaking, I told you guys already know what I was going through that Thursday. I did get to the movie late, so when I walked into the movie, I'm literally walking into the part where her husband just got killed by the Psycho Killer. Now, in Long Legs, I know I'm not supposed to be, I shouldn't be comparing it, but like I said, it just seems so similar. It kind of was given this in a sense that, like, at least in Long Legs, they did a good job at hiding the killer. In this movie, they kind of jump back and forth between the killer's point of view and the police officer point of view. But each time we get the killer's point of view, I'm confused with what the movie's goal is to show, because it's just so much ridiculous stuff that happens around the killer that in a sense works in his favor, that is like, I don't know. So first of all, I don't know, like I said, maybe because I got into the movie late, they didn't show or they don't tell us why the woman is a sniper. But just keep that in mind. The wife is a good ass shot. She's a good ass sniper. And maybe that's why she felt so bad. Maybe that's what, because I'm like I said, I didn't see the beginning. Maybe that's why she felt so terrible about letting her husband die. Maybe because she felt like she could have shot the killer. But in reality, from how it looks, the Psycho Killer, like I said, he don't really seem like he has like motive for his killings. He really just seems like the type of guy that if he says, I'm taking this person up, I don't know. I mean, I know sometimes people be like muting the word kill and stuff on YouTube and stuff, but this is like an hour into the episode. I don't think they gonna trip too much about curse and stuff. But yeah, so he was really trying. He was taking people out, and it was a pretty straightforward premise. He's a devil worshiper. The only twist of the movie was that he's a terrorist devil worshiper. Instead of him, no. So let me not say instead. He was killing people by hand, but he also wanted to cause an explosion at a power plant, because there was a time back in the, it's because like I said, because I would have to be spoiled. I mean, I'm already spoiling the movie. I'm gonna be honest, I'm spoiling the hell out of the movie right now. But without of course giving too much storyline details, he pretty much was just on some shit like, yeah, you know, I'm inspired by somebody, and I'm about to continue his wrath, and you know, basically this guy is a devil worshiper. He killed a lot of people one time. They thought he went to jail, and they thought he killed himself in jail. Turns out he didn't kill himself in jail. And that's the thing, right? If he didn't kill himself, how did he get out? Like, if he killed himself, they buried him. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do something to his body. How did he get out? So I don't think he's the same person as the original killer, but he definitely had the same tattoos and stuff like that. That's why I was like, I don't know if the movie was trying to make us think he was the original killer, but I couldn't. Like I said, I'm like, the original killer, they said, killed all these people, went to jail, was guilty, and then he killed himself or died. Now we have this guy with the same tattoos doing the same thing. Okay, all right, and he kills, and then that's the thing. It's not like he kills the main character's husband on purpose. Like, in reality, till halfway through the movie, he don't even know who she is. Till halfway through the movie, she don't even get nowhere on the case. She over here is on some shit where it's like, these killings have been happening all this time. Has nobody put two and two together? And you know, part of me started thinking, like I said, like long as I was like, maybe the devil has been helping this guy get away with these crimes. But it wasn't no stuff like that. It's just the police force not doing their due diligence to really like follow up on tips, put crimes together, and then just overall just like, you know, because she's a patrol woman, just putting her on the back burner. And that part of the movie I just didn't like. It didn't seem like anybody had any sense of urgency to try to stop this killer. And the way they made it seem like in the trailer, it made it seem like there's this big ass plot, there's this big ass review of like what his plan is, what his goal is. Like, he's on this, like, they made it seem like he had like such a riveting arc, such a riveting story behind him. But he was pretty bland. Like, honestly speaking, the nigga could have been silent the whole movie and it wouldn't have changed anything for me. Like, it wouldn't have made the movie any better because him talking didn't really do much better to the dialogue. There was a part of the movie where I couldn't even tell, like, okay, what year are we in? Because he reaches out to some other devil worshippers through a phone call or through like a telemarketing thing, but the whole time he's reaching out to them, he's doing all these like gruesome ass killings, and in my head I'm just like, how is this nigga just doing all these killings and just going about his day like he's not doing this shit or something? Like, this nigga's just over here like, I don't know, bro. The killings was good, I'll give that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the scenes was really nice. Like I said, I like the aspect of how I'm not a devil worshiper. But if I was, I appreciate the fact that they killed the fake devil worshippers, I guess. There was a scene in the movie where they had that, where like the people he was reaching out to, because like I said, the whole time his ultimate goal is to blow up the power plant. So each kill he has been doing and each crime he has been doing has been in furtherance of that. I guess he just happens, or him being a devil worshiper is his motivation for even the plan. But it's just one of those things where I guess it's just like, okay, it's necessary for me to kill 5 people because these 5 people would aid in my plan. But if I gotta kill people across the way, I have no issue doing it, because that's pretty much what he was doing. He just needed some people with explosives, so he killed some people with some explosives. He needed to know how to make the explosives, so he went to the library, stole some books. He needed some weapons, so he killed people at a gun store. He didn't even kill the people at the gun store. He robbed the gun store when it was closed. He wanted to rob a pharmacy, so he killed the pharmacist. Like, that scene was confusing to me, because up until that point, and I guess maybe that's the goal. The goal is to show us, or to give us a fake bone. we're just thinking this guy is a random devil worshiper that's killing these innocent women that's like sick. This nigga's just sick in the head. But in reality, I guess he was more planned out and he really wanted to make a... Because symbolically, I guess the goal of him blowing up the power plant was to make a hole in the world, hole in the earth, you know, a connection to hell. But it's like, I mean, the devil's real. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like in the sense of like, you're not gonna, you can't really go to hell, my nigga. Like, doing that was not gonna send you to hell, my boy. And it was just probably really gonna make a big inconvenience and probably just gonna make like, you know what I'm saying, like, if anybody lost your life, it would have been an issue, yes. But in the sense of like furthering his devil worshipping goal, no. Like, I didn't really see the point in that. Like, it just seemed kind of cliche. And it was one of those things where, like I said, I'm watching the movie and I'm hyped. But it's just, like I said, at least with Longlegs, there was like a story, there was a plot, there was like okay. Like, we're trying to see somebody win. And this one is like, I'm rooting for her, but at the same time, it's like, it is what it is. Because, like I said, part of me kind of was like, okay, what happens? They kind of deserve it, because when she was telling these niggas that this nigga's trying to do some shit, y'all wasn't fucking with her. So it is what it is now. So I don't know. Like I said, overall, it was a good movie. An hour 31 minutes. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, kind of halfway through it started kind of feeling long, because I'm like, part of it I started kind of like losing the point of the movie. You know what I'm saying? But it sucks because Georgina Campbell, the person that played Jane Archer, like the main character, I've seen her. Yeah, exactly. She was in what is this movie called? She was in Barbarian, and she did such an amazing job in Barbarian. So when I seen her in this, I was really looking forward to it. But yeah. Oh, so she's also in Cold Storage. So yeah, for the most part, she be doing her shit in the movies. It's just, oh, it's two movies. Look at her. Nah, she acting out here. This year alone, she's in Cold Storage and Psycho Killer. In Cold Storage, she's Naomi. In Psycho Killer, she's Jane Archer. But yeah, it's not her. Like I said, it's not her. She does a good job. It's just, they don't really give her character much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the whole time, we watch her get rejected more than we watch her get approved. Like, bro, even at the end of the movie, bro, right? I'm sorry, because I feel like with his movies I don't like, I try not to shit on them. I feel like someone I've already been told that Kudus do not be liking movies, so I be feeling bad. I mean, like, I try to be a little more, you know, but that is okay. So dang, what is this? That's 7 out of 10. I give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. So yeah, I gave Psycho Killer 5 on 5. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. So now I'm going to be talking about How to Make a Killing, which is low-key what prompted today's episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, Psycho Killer was cool, you know what I'm saying? But this movie right here was really what, like, gave me the title of today's episode. Like, was really, like, the motivator. Like, maybe because, man, how do you say this without sounding like you're in support of, like, police officers? This movie, I feel like I said, like the title would lead you to suggest, this is a perfect representation of how to not get away with murder. The movie's called How to Make a Killing. It is about a man that is disowned at birth by his obscenely wealthy family. A blue collar will stop at nothing to reclaim his inheritance, no matter how many relatives stand in his way. Okay. Hear me out. Premise, amazing. You telling me this guy that was a part of his wealthy family because of his mother being exiled, he technically has inheritance in his name, but he only can access it if everybody above him no longer is above him? I like the idea. It kind of reminded me of Parasite. It kind of reminded me of By Any Means Necessary, this Asian movie that I should have went to go see. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm really going to really, like, that's why I said I had so much on my plate. For you guys, for this podcast, I gotta watch these movies. I gotta do my research. I gotta do my homework. I gotta get out in the field. Sometimes I be wanting to stay home, but I gotta get out. That's why I like going to school, because I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'm telling you, bro, it's tough. I be getting in these runs. Sometimes I wake up and be like, I don't want to do nothing. But the moment I get out in nature, the moment I get out and I socialize, I'm reminded why I need to be out. I'm reminded why the world needs me. So for you guys, I need to go see these movies. But I didn't see that movie. It's kind of similar in a sense of this gentleman. And I'm talking about the By Any Means Necessary. It's a gentleman, this Asian guy. He's applying for a job. He has other people, other candidates above or ahead of him, and pretty much they all could get the job. But the only movie, this is movie land. But the only way he could really guarantee himself to get the job is by killing everybody else. The issue is, if there was 10 niggas applying to this job, and all of a sudden nine of the niggas that applied to the job died of miraculous or, circumstances, and the only nigga that's left is still applying for the job, we're gonna look at you. So now we have How to Make a Killing. I wouldn't even say he's the youngest, but he's the last in the totem pole of who should be getting the inheritance. And then now all of a sudden, you kill one of the people. Mind you, because I guess, like I said, I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's How to Not Get Away with Murder. Mind you, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's like you have like 6 family members. All of a sudden they're passing away and they know it's from a rich family, and you thought, what? You wasn't going to be caught? You wasn't going to be somehow, some way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when niggas' wives get murdered and then they go to the police station talking about something. Bro, I don't know the last time I seen her. Like, you're telling me in such a case where we're automatically gonna think the person closest to them is going to be the one to do this crime, you're not even going to have enough wherewithal to really think of, like, how can I really get away with this? Like, how can I make sure that I'm not a suspect? How can I make sure they don't start investigating me? And then you would think, right? Because I thought the movie was going to be showing us how elaborate he had to, like, how much effort it took for him to be able to make it seem like he didn't do these crimes. No. The movie instead shows us him do these crimes. He kills, like, 2 siblings first, or 2 relatives. He gets away with it, meets a girl who essentially, in reality, if he had realized the type of person he, and that's the thing, maybe that was the goal of this movie, because they already kind of started off different. We start the movie with him in jail, right? He's in jail. He's on death row. So we're already kind of like, the movie already kind of like lets us know how the movie's going to end. Wink, wink, right? By letting us see, okay, ultimately he does get caught for the crimes. What crime? We don't know. That's where the movie does a good job at doing. That's what the movie does a good job at keeping hidden. Because the whole thing, we know that he's going to kill his relatives, but we're just, now that we're seeing him in jail, we're like, okay, dang, he must have got caught up or something. So, at least that's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing him in the prison, and now he has a visitor, and it's a priest. So, I'm assuming the priest is here because, he's about to, go on death row. He's about to pray on him and ask him if he has any last words. But instead, he's like, priest, you got some time? I'm going to tell you the story of how I even got in this situation. So he starts the story saying that, oh yeah, this is a sad story, but he does a play on words by not saying it's not a sad story for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never really says who is a sad story for. But pretty much he talks about how his mom was, in this rich family. She met this, like, kind of like regular guy, started messing with him, got pregnant, and when she got pregnant, she told the dad, and the dad was like, oh yeah, like, you grown and all, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're not going to do it under my house. So she was exiled, So instead of being, Princess so and so, now she's Princess of New Jersey. So they live on this house, and like on the not on the street. They have a pretty nice house. Live a regular lifestyle, but it's like kind of like with me. Like when I go outside, I'm American, but at home I'm Nigerian. At home, he was royalty. So at home, his mom is teaching him, is like putting him on to all the like, oh, like hey, just so you know, we come from a long line of this. Just so you know, we're this. Just so you know, like we're proper. And, maybe one day you can inherit, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some money that's belongs to you and stuff. So, he's like, okay, bet. He starts pretty much, like, in a sense, mentally embodying that version of himself. So, because his mom has been kind of, like, instilling him that he's royalty, he starts kind of, like, mentally embodying royalty. Like, okay, then, like, basically, like, she was like, I'm broke right now, but I know there's money in my future if I do my shit right. So his whole time he's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just stay down and then just wait till my people's pass and I'll get the money. But his mom ends up passing away, or let's put it like this: he meets a girl in middle school that he ends up having a crush on, and then like his mom ends up getting sick, and once his mom gets sick, he just basically they just lose contact. There's some specifics on why they lose contact, but then I forgot. I think it was, I don't want to say like financial reasons, but I think because they couldn't afford the surgery. Basically, yeah, my guy just ends up getting, that's what it was. He loses his mom, so he goes into the foster care system, and eventually he gets older enough, and then he gets a regular job. Works a blue collar job. He works at a soup place. Once he works at the soup place, when he was younger though, he had told the girl, he said, yeah, like I'm deserving of, I can inherit a lot of money because the girl that he had a crush on, she kind of like, her family had money. So pretty much he's been tricked to think he deserves money. He's been tricked to think like he's bigger than the program. Let's put it like this. So like, he's in middle school thinking to himself like, yeah, I'm like this right now, but I'm deserving of this. So when he sees the girl, he's like, okay, this girl's family has money. This type of girl I should be fucking with type shit. So he's like telling her that like, yeah, I'm supposed to inherit some money. And she's like, are you trying to impress me? Because if you are, it's okay. They end up messing with each other. Like I said, his mom passed away, so they end up losing contact, and he ends up getting older and stuff. But when he does get older, he's working at the soup place. He kind of like accepts that his life is going to be what it is. He's like, okay, cool. I think I'm probably not be able to inherit this money, because he was checking, but he was like, I'm probably not be able to inherit this money because all these people were still alive. But when the girl comes to visit him at his job, she kind of was on some shit where he was all like, we should go eat, we should go hang out, we should go catch up. And she was like, yeah, but I'm married now, so I'm kind of cool on that. But she was like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to inherit a lot of money? And he was like, yeah, one day. And then she was like, well, let me know when you do. Like, let me know when everybody's dead. Like, when you kill them, And that was it. That's all it took for him to be like, you know what? She's right. I should probably just kill everybody. Like, instead of me just waiting for them to pass away naturally, or like, probably not even pass away, I'm going to just instead kill them and then just take the money myself. And then I'm going to just call her up. And he starts doing so. So he starts figuring out who's who in the family tree. He goes after one of the youngest. One of the youngest is a rich nigga that just spends money. He's on a yacht. He's passed out. He puts an anchor on his leg, kills him. The next nigga is his asshole art dealer that, is out of touch with reality because he makes so much money. And he has an amazing girlfriend that the nigga's like, I kind of fuck with her. And she kind of fucks with him too. But she fucks with him because she thinks he's like her. Which is why I thought it was so weird that they made that relationship or that situation such a big deal. Because ultimately, he got to a point where he could have just been like relaxed and like, just let it be what it be. But he wasn't satisfied. Like I was saying with the earlier stuff. Because he wasn't happy in his current state. When he got the money, it wasn't enough. He really was hell-bent on that inheritance money. But it got to a point where he got a good job. The person he killed, the dad ended up fucking with him. Was like, you know what? That was fatherless. Like, you know, your mother was my sister. Like, I should have been there for her, and I should have been there for you. So now that I'm here now, I'm gonna be there for you. Imagine how shitty you gotta feel. You just killed this nigga's son, and now he gave you a job. It's fucked up. This whole movie's fucked up, bro. Because ultimately, bro, the nigga ends up doing everything he does. He ends up doing all these kills. He ends up taking a break from the killing, right? He's like, you know what? I think I'm cool right now. Guess what happens? The girl from his crush, his childhood crush, ends up spinning the block on him and basically telling him how, like, her nigga's broke and how she knows he has money and how she knows that the people in his family have also been going missing or they've been passing away recently. And she thought it was weird, but she was like, let me not take it too deep. But she decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm finna send a private investigator after this nigga. Tell me why she has pictures of this nigga at all the places where the people was dying at. Which to me is kind of more irritating. That is like, you're telling me the police, they couldn't figure this out. The FBI couldn't figure it out. But this girl that you used to date, she figured it out. To the point where, like I said, y'all, she pretty much blackmails him. Pretty much tells him that, like, hey, you have to give me a certain amount of money or else I'm going to go public with the fact that you've been killing your relatives. So then he's like, fuck, I got to give her this money. Gives her the money. And then it's just pretty much the nigga ends up going to jail because he kills the girl that he had a crush on, husband. And I don't know if it was not true or it was true, because mind you, normally when I watch these movies, I usually watch a movie review after. I usually watch a movie breakdown. Nobody's broken down somebody broke down Psycho Killer, but nobody broke down how to make a killer. Like, maybe people just don't understand it either, because there's part of this movie I'm just like, okay, like, did the ex-girlfriend kill him and then sabotage and blame it on him, or did he accidentally kill himself or something? Because pretty much he doesn't go to jail for none of the killings of the relatives. And like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys everything, because he also ends up meeting his grandpa, but that's neither here or there. You know what I'm saying? He meets the grandpa. That's cool. Ends up getting away with everything, thinking everything's cool. He ends up, you know what's so funny? The nigga does end up inheriting everything. And then that's why it was so awkward to me. It was so cringy, because he ends up inheriting everything and immediately tries to marry the girl, you know what I'm saying? And then he gets inducted into basically the family, and the FBI is there. And during the whole wedding situation though, the girl looks so uncomfortable. Like, he looks like he's not necessarily comfortable, but he looks like, finally, like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I deserve. I deserve royalty. I deserve all this money. So he's like trying to like embody that, but she's like that's why it was so awkward to me. I'm like, did the movie not read the character that they made? You guys had her with a rich art dealer that she wasn't fucking with because of how out of touch she was, and then you put her with another out of touch nigga. I thought she was gonna change him, bro. No, she doesn't change this nigga. Instead, she pretty much stays down with him while he goes through the whole police process, court process, jail process, because ultimately the ex-girlfriend comes through and basically frees him. But the current girl was like, oh yeah, nigga, I'm not fucking with you. Like, I told you I wasn't on this type of shit, but now you in murder and now you getting out of for murder, I'm really cool. So I thought he kind of was like one of those where it's like, you know what? Because ultimately the high school crush was like, I can only help you out if you transfer all that money that's now in your name into my name. And he's like, fuck it, I'll do it. So he gets out. So I'm thinking he's going to be on some shit where I'm thinking it's going to be a happy ending of like, he's like, I don't need that money. I just want to be with you. But no, she just gives him his chain that has his mother's hair in it, and she drives the fuck off in her little bucket. And I thought that was so cool, because I was like, I respect her. She's standing on business. She said, I'm not gonna fuck with a nigga like this, and I'm really not gonna fuck with this nigga like this. And then we see him look to the other side, and we see it's the high school crush, and she's over there with a Rolls Royce and a driver, pretty much waiting. And yeah. So honestly speaking, it led me to believe that maybe, just maybe, he might kill her I don't know. That's what it was giving. It was giving that is like, this is the girl I want to be with, but because she doesn't want to be with me, I'm gonna go be with this girl because she at least has money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably gonna be miserable here, but at least I'm gonna be rich. You know, and I feel like when with a situation like that is like, the Hollywood trope of that is like, yeah, I just gave this girl my money. I'm gonna find a way to try to finesse it back. But I don't think that would even work, even so, because it's like, if this girl was just calculated to find a way to finesse you into transferring all that assets into her name, I'm pretty sure she's smart enough to know or be aware of the fact that you might try to do something to her eventually. So I don't think she's gonna be lacking anytime soon. So that was Psycho Killer and How to Make a Killing. So I gave, like I said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I gave Psycho Killer, what did I give it originally? Okay, yeah, I didn't give it no score originally. But yeah, like I said, Psycho Killer 3 out of 5. We'll give How to Make a Killing 3.5 out of 5 because the more I just broke it down, the more irritated I just got with how dumb the movie was. It had a lot of potential. Both of these movies had a lot of potential. I think it's just overall execution that they just missed the ball on doing, you know? And it's not their fault, you know. Nowadays, it's hard to make a good movie. Nowadays, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to like land a plane, I guess, but I feel like what could Psycho Killer have done better? Psycho Killer could have done a better job, or could have been a better movie, or got a higher score from me if they at least had given some type of more motivation for why he was doing what he was doing and made the stakes a little more higher for us to care, because it just seemed like this is this random guy that's a devil worshiper just killing everybody and wants to make a bomb. Cool, yeah, but where does this lady come in for? Like, you know, random. How to Make a Killing could have been more better if they didn't, I feel like, they shot themselves in the foot by giving us too many bones to chase. You made us think he was going to get caught like this. You made us think he was going to end up with her. You made us think he was going to do, like, too many things that ultimately didn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, okay, I guess for just to push the plot on, that's why these were matter. But for the overall goal of the movie, it didn't matter because overall, the nigga gets away with everything. He doesn't even go to jail for killing the relative. So they clearly were that important. And then just the way that he was just killing the relative was just fucked up. I'm just like, damn, like, I know you're trying to get the money, but still, my nigga, like, you killing these people and then going to their funeral right after? You fucked up, bro. You're fucked. You're a fucked up guy. And then FBI, terrible. Let's just leave it alone. But this week in anime, I watched the new episode of the Darwin Incident. It was called Visitors. In this episode, it's pretty much the follow-up of what happened in last week's episode of the school shooting, Red Pill, where students panic and the world watches in horror as a masked man live streams himself shooting students in Shrews High. Deputy Philip Graham storms into the school but is shot to find Charlie trying to save the wounded. Meanwhile, Lucy comes face to face with the shooter as he prepares for one final and very public message to Charlie. So then, this week's episode, it was Visitors. Is public anger over the school shooting leads to a growing number of attacks on vegans and activists nationwide. As anti-ALA sentiments intensify, misinformation about Charlie protecting the shooter raises suspicions about the terrorist connections, leading to confrontation with the townspeople. So essentially, in last week's episode, Charlie, which I feel like, hey, I feel like that's we need more of. Some niggas need to go to jail. Let's put it like this. Like, I feel like, or I put it like this. Some niggas they need to get a punishment and die too. Like, school shooters, I feel like they kind of need to feel the gravity of what they did by going through the whole court process, having to admit it. Like, basically, like, really sitting with what they did so they can take accountability and then they can die. But by just killing them, it's like, nah, that's not enough. That's not enough. And then, especially for the family, it's not enough. So, in last week's episode, when they were about to kill the school shooter, Charlie, you know, because he's so powerful, human and a chimpanzee mixed together, he pretty much kicks the fuck out of the school shooter, but kind of knocks him out, and then, like, they both dodged the bullet. So the school shooter doesn't get shot, but he did do a lot of killings and stuff. So the townspeople, they're mad at ALA. So they're also mad at vegans now, and now they're mad at Charlie. So they pretty much stormed Charlie's house, his parents' house, and they're like, hey, y'all need to go. Like, clearly, vegans is causing issues, and clearly this nigga Charlie's causing issues. Y'all gotta leave. If y'all don't leave, we're gonna make y'all leave. And they're like, why we gotta go? We ain't doing nothing wrong. And it's crazy because, as a Japanese person that made this show, it's very on par. It's very meta as heck. Like, the way that they have the people behaving or being so ignorant or being so mean to Charlie and his family, it's very realistic. I could really see that happening. Like, I could really see people being on some shit where it's like, we have a clear terrorist group that, because I don't see how they could associate vegans with the ALA. Vegans just want, animals to be treated better, but they don't want humans to die because of it. Like, why would, like, that is such an obvious disconnect. It's also such obvious, like, extreme, that the fact that they're willing to be basically, like, to the point where, like I said, the vegans is chilling now, or they're trying to do their thing in the city, and people's attacking them. Now people was like, because now they're like, okay, if the ALA is going out shooting up our schools, we finna go beat up the vegans. And it's like, it's kind of like, I seen a video yesterday. It's like with it's like with white people talking about why are the black people moving into our neighborhoods, but instead of them just like asking them to leave or just leaving them alone, they resort to violence. So now the people that you are accusing of being violent, you're going to be violent towards them. What is that going to prove? Oh, we're going to kill you guys before you kill us, so we could be what, the killers? I never understood that logic, because if you're so offended or so against the vegans, like, why attack them? Like, that logic just doesn't make sense. The logic is already flawed, but it's realistic because that is how humans would behave, especially in America. They would for sure start blaming the monkeys. They would for sure start blaming Charlie and start saying, oh yeah, Charlie is a part of this. He saved the school shooter. The whole time he's like, no, he didn't save the school shooter. He didn't save the school shooter. He just like, well, I guess you could say he did, but it's like, I would rather us have taken the school shooter in custody. Like, take him in alive. We need to get to the bottom of this. Why'd you do what you do, and why'd you know what I'm saying? Killing them, we're not gonna get no questions answered. But people being people. People being ignorant, and then just like overall just the tensions and fear just mixing in. It's just very real, and like overall they tried to like kick Charlie and his family out, and then Lucy came through, being Lucy, involving herself in as usual, and like she ran over somebody. That guy was like, my hernia. I thought that was so funny. I was like, why would they would get this nigga like this old ass like bodily issue and shit. So then, yeah. So this episode is pretty much like we're just seeing the town people like going over whether or not they should let Charlie stay, and then like one of the people talking to the deputy basically saying like, yeah, like, hey, the people want some blood. They lost students and they want to do something about it. And that's why I was so confused too, because it was like, so you want to kill Charlie because students got killed at the school? Like, that's not been equivalent exchange, bro. Charlie's life is not worth the lives of people that got killed by a school shooter. The school shooter life maybe is worth it, but even that's still not even equal, because that's not gonna be enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just that whole aspect was just like, okay, like this right here is the ignorance that Americans really be spewing. Like, they'll really be on some shit where it's like, okay, hey, we don't want you guys, like the whole DEI thing. Trump was really bragging about stopping DEI, like DEI was the issue. Like, having even equal access to jobs was a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because as someone with a name like Caduce, I know how it is applying to jobs, and people seeing Caduce and being like, yeah, we're not gonna hire this guy just off of that. But at least with DEI, it's like, no, you have to consider me. I know my name is not the name that you would prefer, but hey, look at my accolades, look at my stats. That's what DEI is for. But Trump and them, they try to make DEI look like it was fuck white people or something. Which, that's what I'm saying. It's like with the Black Lives Matter thing. Black Lives Matter never said all lives didn't matter, but we're just trying to put focus on the Black Lives Matter. Like, come on. People are so weird. My bad. I forgot what I was talking about just now. But yeah, so that was the Darwin Incident, newest episode. But now, let's get into some of this tea that's been going on social media. So if you guys don't know, freaking T.I. and 50 Cent have been going at it for like the last couple of days. And it only really came to a head recently because the homie Prince, he ended up going viral because he's seen, so Prince or King, so 50 Cent posted T.I.'s wife, King's mom. And when he posted it, even I was like, okay, 50 Cent, you kind of wilding right now. But everybody knows 50 Cent do the most whatever. And I think that's why I feel like you really can't win. You really can't win for losing. Because when I seen King react to how he reacted to 50 Cent's mood or I guess post, part of me was like, why would he do that? Because he pretty much went on a whole like tirade saying that like 50 Cent is a bitch, 50 Cent is this, that like, oh yeah. Let me see. He pretty much like started making threats to 50 Cent like, oh yeah, like fuck you, fuck your mama, like show your mama. And 50 Cent's mom has passed away, so he was like saying a lot of like comments like basically go dig her up and stuff like that. And I was like, eesh. Granted, if somebody was to 50 Cent complain, post my mom, I'm tripping on 50 Cent too. But I think my thing is, I'm just so karma oriented that I wouldn't bring a deceased relative into it. Like if you saw my mama, I just would talk shit about 50 Cent. Like I wouldn't talk shit about 50 Cent's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't want someone talking about my mom, I'm not gonna talk about their mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just talk shit about the person. But I don't know. This generation is a little different. But like I said, my nigga Joe Prince, he made a post where he pretty much was saying it, and he was like he had this to say about T.I.'s or King's reply to it. And like I said, I kind of agree with him because I feel like King shouldn't have said anything.
I ain't gonna lie. Now I get it. You feel me? 50 Cent went at your mama. I get it. But you gotta know when to stay in a child's place. Like what? Well, that's what I'm saying. Who raised these new niggas? Like, because that's between his dad. That's between T.I. and 50. You not like that. You was raised a whole different way. So to go out there and it's like, okay, I get it. He called your mom ugly. That's wrong. Cool. But you talking like, you gotta, like, dude, people forget that 50 really one of them ones. Like, don't let the millions of dollars fool you. He really about all the play. Like, he be for real, like, real people. And you over there talking about, come on, man. I don't know what you're like.
And that's all I was saying. I was like, I just feel like I would have just left it more up to T.I. to be more like defensive, and I would have just doubled down on what my dad would have said. I wouldn't put myself personally in it, but I honestly, like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm capping too because I'm like, if 50 Cent was talking about my mom, I probably would say something to 50 Cent too. I just wouldn't take it to as far as, like I said, bringing up deceased relatives, trying to talk about his mom, you know what I mean? Going that crazy because I just feel like it's a little much, especially when you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? Not the kid, but like you're the kid of the person that's going in it. You know what I'm saying? You're T.I.'s son because now 50 Cent starts coming at you. It's like, granted, you know he did start it, but it's like now it's like you can't really say much because now you done inserted yourself in particular into the issue. You know. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that one. I thought that was interesting. But like I said, the whole beef has just been weird. T.I., 50 Cent. T.I., I guess, wanted to do a versus with 50 Cent. 50 Cent was like, T.I., you a rat. You know, and I don't want to do any verses with you. But T.I. was like, oh, nah, bro. 50 Cent, we still cool. You know, equivocally, extravagantly, we still all right. But 50 Cent just kept going, and like I said, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know why you guys. I don't know why people would be feeling like they have to do shit on the internet. They still do, I guess. You know what I'm saying? People just probably just be in their ear like, nah, bro, you don't let them go at you like that. Because I just would concede it. I would have conceded early. 50 Cent just seems like somebody that don't freaking know how to that don't know how to let shit go. So I would have just took my L like in grace and would be like, you know what? I'm going to just take the high road and be the bigger fan because I know this guy goes wild and I don't have no time for that. That's how I would have been. But you know how people are. People be way more sensitive than me. But in weird news, there was a N-word dropped recently at the hard R that was shot at Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo that wasn't edited out, but it was so interesting, but you could say that they purposely left it in because Akinola Davies Jr. Free Palestine remark is confirmed to have been cut from the BBC coverage of the BAFTAs 2026. This lets fans know that the coverage wasn't live and that the N-word, the hard R that was shot at Michael B. Jordan and Delroy could have been edited out, but it wasn't. So that was recently, at the award ceremony, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, they were presenting an award where somebody in the crowd that has Tourette's, she shouted out the N-word with the hard R. And as professional, and of course, they handled themselves very professionally. They didn't react, they kept going. But after it, everybody's just been coming around basically saying that, like, oh, that Tourette's, that basically pretty much trying to excuse it. And it's like, I don't think Tourette's makes you say the N-word to people on stage, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you see two black people. You know what I mean? Like, you've been quiet you've been good the whole presentation, the whole show, but the moment Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo come on here, you want to say the N-word? The hard R? Sheesh. Cool. And it's just been bringing a lot of like attention, a lot of like traction, and a lot of attention to it because it's just overall just like, why did you guys like allow that part to still be aired on air where it shows, or you guys clearly could have edited that part out, meaning that was a choice, a bad choice, but a choice nonetheless. So once again, these award shows show us that they're not really fucking with us, and it kind of goes into the next topic or the next person that I want to talk about, because Amanda Seales, she also, I guess, made a comment about Ryan Coogler being at the Grammys, and it's so crazy because I really fuck with Amanda Seales. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys know me, I'm very pro-black myself, so I fuck with the people that I feel like always try to remind us that, yes, even though we are, in a sense, striving to be accepted by these rooms that didn't accept us before, don't forget the fact that these rooms didn't accept us before. So it's like, granted, we do want them to acknowledge us, but if they're not going to acknowledge us, we got to acknowledge ourselves, bro. And I kind of feel what she's saying, but it's tough. It's tough. It's kind of like with the La Russell and Jay-Z situation. It's like, we want him to be successful. We want him to get his accolades. We want him to get, we want him to succeed. In reality, we want the nigga to succeed. Like, who wouldn't want the guy to, like, win? Like, why would we want him to not, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, get a deal, be heard on more places. But at the same time, your whole plight was that, hey, independent. And someone brought a good point too about how major labels do this, that like kind of when they see you having traction or they see you doing something good that can inspire other people, they kind of come and get you to like kind of stop you so you don't encourage people. So it's kind of like on some, like, I know this might sound crazy, but like some slavery stuff. It's like, we noticed that you guys want to escape, so rather than, in a sense, stopping you from escaping, we're going to make you feel like you want to stay. So we're going to give you incentives to make you feel like, we're going to convince you, want to change your mind. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So instead of us basically changing the situation or changing the system, we're going to make it beneficial for you. So it's kind of like the saying of like, niggas always be righteous before they go to Hollywood, but now they go to Hollywood, they become Hollywood, and now they don't want to switch up no more. That's kind of like I said, like with this whole content creation thing, it's a experiment that I'm doing myself. I'm trying to see if basically, can I change the system from inside the system? Like, it's kind of like, because I always thought about that too. Like, even when it came to this, how the government worked, I've always thought to myself, like, if we ever really wanted some change in the government, you wanted some change in the police force, some of us got to get hired. Some of us got to start working there. Some of us got to be in Congress. If we want some of their values or some of the things that they vote on or the things that they care about to reflect what we care about, the people that care about what we care about got to be there. If we don't have no representation, we're not going to be represented. But that's a conversation for another day. Because like I said, it's just one of those things where it's like, hopefully, like I said, post-COVID and then overall, just like I said, the economy being where it is, people going to see that having a career, having a job, having something that requires intellect is necessary. And like I said, they're going to start seeing like places in the government, some smart people. We need some smart people in there. And y'all going to start applying there. We're going to start doing that. Because like I said, it's getting to the point where, like I said, everything is closing down. What do they say? Non-essential jobs or non-skilled labor is dying out or is going to AI. So we're going to need some skilled labor. And one thing about black people, we are intelligent. You guys are amazing. You guys are so, I'm telling you, even as myself, I had to get into myself and like realize I tapped into my untapped potential. Like, kiddos, you're a nerd. You have the ability to learn. You have the ability to learn a topic, apply it, and teach it. Use that. Expound on that. Use that as your advantage. That's my superpower. Make a podcast. Talk about topics. Spread your knowledge. Share things that people should know. You know what I'm saying? Teach people. Shit. That's what I'm trying to do. Shit. Fuck it. But nah. But she pretty much puts Ryan Coogler on blast for showing up to the Oscars after dropping a movie about cultural assimilation, which, in a sense, I guess is like, but that's the thing. Is like, sis, if you made a movie, it kind of was gonna get acknowledged by the Oscars regardless. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if anything, don't support, like, boycott it. Like, don't participate. But it's a movie. It's going to be said, right? But let's hear her comments before I come up with what I have to say.
Let them crackers be amongst themselves. I'll keep showing up to these racist ass places and expecting racism not to happen. Stop supporting this shit. Let them crackers be amongst themselves. I don't know why we keep showing up to these places expecting respect. Okay, Kervin, you had 3 strikes and you are out. You had nothing valid to say. You asked me twice about Dr. Umar and then asked would I consider dating a man younger than me. Go away. I just don't see the point. Why are you going to the Oscars, the BAFTAs, like Ryan Coogler, whose work I love and who I respect, is gonna go to the Grammy. It's gonna go to the Oscars. And his whole movie is about how assimilation is what let them crackers be killing black people. And he's gonna go to the Oscars. Why would you make that movie and then show up in the places and spaces of assimilation? No, the best NBA player does not have to go to the finals no matter how racist, and comparing playing on a team to being somebody who has made a movie and is funded are completely false equivalencies. I don't even understand why you thought that made any sense. Killing black people.
So I get her point, but I think it goes into what I was saying about, like, I guess we got to find a way to get those places to be more representative of us, because she's right. We shouldn't be going to these places expecting them to give us respect when they've shown us countless of time. It's like those places that, like I said, that all said they don't want to do DI no more. We shouldn't shop with them. If any store or any company has showed us that, okay, they do not align with black people or align with a black mindset or a black dollar, we shouldn't respect them. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's like, you're damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because like I said, if we do ultimately want to change, some of us gonna have to get in there and make it change to where it do start representing us better. So you know. So that was that. I don't know. It sucks, man. It sucks because we're in a position where we should hold each other accountable, but we're also in a position where it's like, if a brother like Ryan Coogler is doing something so amazing like that, we should just try to give him his accolades. We should just try to like congratulate him. We should just try to acknowledge that and how amazing that is, because Sinners is a great movie, and overall, if anything, I guess it getting the awards and the acknowledgement would be a sign of that, the fact that we're heading in the right direction. But it's one of those where it's like, I guess it's like kind of like she said, it's like, if these places never acknowledged us before, what makes you think they're going to do it now? You know, or makes you going to think they're going to give a fair representation now? But at the end of the day, too, I feel like we can't just sit on the other side of this. Like, we're never going to get our just desserts. Like, if we never try, then we're never definitely going to get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we gotta find that middle point where, like I said, we work, but we don't sell ourselves short. You know what I'm saying? And we don't just like put up with what they're doing. You know, that's why I feel like we at least acknowledge it, the bullshit that they be doing. It'll be better than just being like, oh, we don't see it. There's no racism in the room. Like, no, there's racism in the room. Let's work to get the racism out the room. You know what I mean? But congratulations to Jennifer Hudson, because the Jennifer Hudson show just got renewed for her 5th season amid multiple daytime talk show cancellations. The J. Hudson show is here to stay. According to Variety, the EGOT winner's daytime television talk show has been renewed for a 5th season. Her ratings are reportedly up 10% in her key demographic, and her social media grew to 17.5 million from 2025 to 2026. It doesn't stop there. J. Hud's show is ranked number 1 among daytime talk shows on TikToks and Threads. Y'all surprised? I'm surprised because I don't watch none of these shows. I don't think I only know about her show because I think the Jennifer Hudson show is a show where everybody walks through the little middle thing and they're like, hey, hey, hey. And everybody does a little dance and they all like walk out. I don't watch it though. I don't know. I don't really watch that show, but I just want to say congratulations to her and shout out to Jennifer Hudson, because I was just telling y'all two episodes ago, that's weird as heck. They said those other shows got canceled. And then Sis came back around and said, hey, I'm going to try my best to get the show uncanceled. So I was like, yeah, when they say a show is canceled, it doesn't sound like the person on the show wanted that to happen. It sounded like that was beyond their control and beyond their means, and they had no choice but to just go with it. So congratulations to Jennifer Hudson. Like, I mean, being able to stay on while everybody else is getting off, it's kind of a sign, man. And y'all heard it. 17.5 million? Sheesh. Up 10%? Dang. So, also in trends, you know what I'm saying, you know, speaking of health, the new luxury good of longevity. So, I wanted to tell you guys about this guy that I follow on Instagram. His name is Jay Tibbetts. He's this, I would just call him an influencer that is in the fashion space. He's an African-American guy. I'm sorry, I'm giving like such a like generic explanation, but he's this gentleman that I feel like is kind of like what I was saying about earlier. That's one of us that's in these spaces that's going to give us the real and give us the tea. And ever since I've been following him, I feel like he's been kind of keeping me up to date on the fashion trends, on just trends in general, of the luxury trends and stuff like that. And that's why I feel like I've kind of been able to like relax in a sense of like of my I guess you could say my materialistic needs right now, in a sense of like wanting clothes, wanting anything fashion related, because I feel like he keeps me very he goes to like Paris Fashion Week. He goes to all the places where the fashion niggas be at, and he's really tapped into the fashion world, and he pretty much be putting me on to like how right now the trend is health. The trend might be conservative, minimalist. Like when I started dressing, I feel like when I started working out and I started like kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna start wearing my workout clothes outside sometimes. He was kind of part of the reason why, because he was saying how like now the new trend is to like look like you're fit. The trend is to look active. So right now he's telling me about the new trend, which is longevity, which I've been seeing recently too. A lot of these billionaires have been investing a lot of money into these companies to like basically make themselves look younger. Remember I was telling you guys, I don't want to be the 40-year-old that's trying to be 18 years old. I don't know what it is. I don't know, maybe these niggas, it might be a part of, like I said, like the Diddy shit of just like, just wanting to be so, I know that's such a crazy comparison, but just, I guess in a sense, wanting to indulge in shit for as long as you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas don't want to get old because they know they can't do the shit that having money would allow them to do. Which is probably just fuck hoes and have fun. But it's like, you guys are old white niggas. What? Just get old, bro. It's okay. Let somebody else get in charge. You know what I'm saying? These niggas don't want to give up the business. They don't want to retire. That's not fair, bro. That's not fair. But let's hear my guy Jay Tippett talk about it.
Health is wealth, divas. And let's talk about a cultural phenomenon I've been thinking about a lot recently: longevity. Because wellness used to be this niche luxury, but it's now a global phenomenon and priority amongst all generations. But longevity is this new premium within the $7 trillion wellness industry. And this moment feels especially poignant given that general healthcare is a luxury for many just at the foundational level. But on the other side, you have this whole group obsessed with voluntary body scans, biohacking, and getting the best peptide dealers. Literally talk to someone who is on peptides and they'll be talking for 30 minutes. What I also find interesting about this trend is that for a long time, appearance and like plastic surgery was considered a status marker. But now with the ease of access of things like Botox and medical tourism, basically at any price point you can get a procedure. So it kind of dilutes the distinction of just appearance alone. And a big part of longevity culture is that it takes an incredible amount of time. Like, this man has literally devoted his life to kind of living forever. And our current cultural moment has shifted from flexing via hustle culture and moved to how much sleep you've tracked on your Oura ring. And time is really our most finite resource, with excess of it only being allotted to a few. And when you have access to all these other resources, time becomes one of the last things that you can try to optimize and leverage. But my whole thing is, like, sorry to break it to everyone, we're all dying. And my main question around this whole longevity trend for people that are into it is, do you have a plan for what you're going to do when you're that old? Health is wealth.
You see, and that's why I see. That's why I fuck with my nigga Jay Tippett. But that's what I'm saying. It might just be because as a black person, we able to get older and still look young. So for us, it's like we don't have to do all this plastic surgery. We don't have to do all these eccentric shit to stay healthy, stay, you know, what I'm saying, viable. Now maybe for them, they get to a certain age where it's just like, yeah, it's starting to show, and they start obsessing over it because, like you said, in the like just right now, having insurance is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So to have insurance and then to be on top of that, trying to make yourself live longer, have the best body, be young forever, it's just doing too much, y'all. Where's it gonna start? This don't really have to do with what we're talking about right now. So we can talk about some of the crazy moments that happened at the State of the Union address.
That protect the criminals and enact serious.
So, Republican Ilhan Omar, a representative, Rep. Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, shouted, "You have killed Americans," as President Donald Trump slammed Democrats for demanding for reform before funding the Department of Homeland Security. Omar was referring to the federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota, where Renee Good and Alex Preddy were fatally shot by federal agents. Trump bragged about any diversity, equity, inclusion, DI programs, and cutting 2.4 million Americans food from food stamp benefits. Trump says the current term should be his third term. Rep. Rashida Tlaib wore several statement pins. Rep. Nancy Pelosi also wore a pin saying, "Release the files and run for the Epstein files," which Trump made zero mention of during the address. Several Epstein survivors were there in attendance. So, pretty much, yeah, State of the Union is pretty much where, Trump comes in state and, he talks to the union, pretty much is like, hey, here's how everything's going. Here's an update of where we've been on. And I don't know, it's just been a weird time, y'all. It's just been a weird time because I feel like it's one of those things where we're seeing America for what it really is and how, corrupt, lying, and just overall fucked up it is. And we're left with two choices. Either we're gonna keep just letting them keep playing our face, or we're gonna make a change. And I'm like, hey, we gotta make a change, y'all. I think it's time. It's high time we just make a change. But on some real stuff though, I think the safest thing though, cause I feel like this my thing. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. I feel like the best thing though right now, we just gotta ride out this Trump presidency, get a nice, get a president that could at least be fair, in there, and then try to get the shit figured out. But I feel like while Trump is right there, it's gonna be like just those that picture where the guy's pushing the boulder uphill. It's gonna be like that right now. I don't think we're gonna make too much progress because it looks like, and we're probably not gonna really make too much progress even with the next president till the second term of the next president. Because right now Trump is undoing a lot of shit that the old presidents did. So right now it's like he's undoing everything, all the shit that made shit fair for us. And like I said, nobody cares until it affects the white people. So hopefully when it starts affecting white people, we see something like that. But while we see it's affecting us, we gotta get in on it. We gotta stop it. We gotta handle it. That's all I'm saying. You feel me? But just so I don't go too crazy with the State of the Union, that's just pretty much what's going on. Trump is pretty much acting like everything's all. He's acting as if nothing's wrong. Like his presidency is the best presidency ever. Everything he's been like, all the cuts he's been making have been like progressing us forward. But it's like, no, like, ask any American, bro. Like, it's bad to the point. I'm at the gym. I'm seeing the State of Union address reporting. What do you guys feel like the economy state is in? Good or bad? 30. I'm not, because it wasn't 100%, but it said like 50% said bad and like 30% said good. So it's like, bro, the people that you already are, like the people that are voting with you or the people that voted for you, they don't even think that the state of the economy is good right now, and you still coming out here lying and saying it is. I don't know, man. Like I said, if anything, Trump. He kind of impresses me the way that he could like keep such a stone cold face in the face of all the BS. Like the fact that he's able to like act as if everything is going good while everything is like bad is amazing. It's amazing. I can't even lie. But they said dating. I thought this was funny. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is real, but I just thought it was really funny, so I wanted to mention it. The New York Times reports that dating in NYC has gotten so brutal that some single events are charging women $100 and letting men in for free. The men still are showing up. The New York Times says dating in NYC has become so rough that some single events now charge women $100 while letting men in for free. And even then, guys still aren't showing up. Organizers admit they're struggling to get men to attend, with women still outnumbering them nearly 3-1. At these single events, it'd be 3 women to 1 man. The reporting comes from the daily episodes Is the Swipe Era Over?, which explores how singles are adjusting to life beyond dating apps. While apps may have lowered people's tolerance for rejection and made approaching someone in real life less common, in-person events are creating the kind of organic moments swiping never could. I'm telling you, people just gotta lower their standards right now. Everybody has standards up here. Lower it and start meeting people where they're at. And I'm telling you, we're going to see a change in America. Hey, just tell them, hey man, right now it's too expensive right now. We could put our money together and work something out. Or we can keep our money separate and then just be on some minimal shit. But if we're going to come together, we could do it up. If we're going to be on our own, we got to do it enough. You feel me? And that's really where we're going to see some improvement at. But right now, nah. Dating is not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better till they truly improve. Like, till I feel like people really just be honest about what they want. And just overall till the situation and the whole outer state of everything just gets better, you know. So I thought this was a really interesting just excerpt. This is from Jillian Turecki. One of the hardest lessons we learn is how to accept when someone's part in our story is over. And just because it ended, it doesn't mean the love wasn't real. So this is just an excerpt that she posted. And I feel like I felt that in this real as hell. So I'm about to read it to you guys. Not every connection is meant to become a relationship. Not every relationship is meant to be a life story. Some people come into your life to wake you up. Others are meant to be an adventure. Letting go of someone doesn't mean you weren't meant to know them or love them. It just means accepting that their part in your story is over. Some people come into your life to challenge you. They expose the patterns you've been repeating. They wake you up to what you will never accept again, and they force you to finally raise your standards. They are a lesson, not a partner. Others come in to remind you that you are capable of joy, of likeness, and of feeling more than you've been allowing yourself to feel. Not everyone is meant to stay. Let people be exactly who they are, and let the experience be exactly what it was. One of the hardest lessons we learn is that not everyone is meant to stay. Some people are meant to be a chapter. That chapter could be beautiful, intense, even transformative, and still temporary. It can wake you up, expand you, change you, and still come to a close. Letting go is how you make room for someone who deserves more than just a chapter in your story. So I like that. Because in general, it just goes to show that, like, overall, and I feel like this is really for me, I have to be okay with letting people go, and like how it said, making room for the people that will appreciate me and that are meant to be in my life longer than one chapter to enter my life for one chapter. So that's real. I needed to hear that, and I hope that helped you guys out as well. So that was my info, or some of the topics that I got from Instagram. So now we're finna go to Twitter, because Twitter, I had some shit from last week that I want to talk about, and I got some shit for this week I want to talk about. So B. Simone says she went from earning $1 million a month before her social media cancellation to making $10,000 or less per month now. And what was I also seeing? I think it was DDG that also said something like this. Man, what is it with this whole idea that, like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so cheap that I'm like, I don't see how you guys will go from making that much money, right, and then not just downsize, right? Like, why did you start making $1 million and start spending $1 million? You know what I mean? Like, why? But I just thought, like I said, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care too much about B. Simone. I'm not trying to diss her or anything like that. It's just, I just find it so interesting that she's saying that, like, you know, you're kind of the reason you got canceled. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you started saying rude stuff. You did your homegirl wrong. You put her on a podcast. Like, for you to say that social media cancellation, and let's listen.
The very next month, I made $1 million in 30 days. And the month after that, I made $10,000 the very next month.
Why?
Because I was canceled on social media.
Oh, that was the man?
That was in that same time frame, right? So I went from $1 million month to a 10,000. What percent drop is that? We are in the red. What the code red? Hello, please. We need a new team. What is going? But I said all that to say, dollars don't equate money. You know what I mean? You can be...
Followers don't equate money to money.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. Followers don't equate money. And you can be here one day, and the consumer is so episodic. One day they're like, oh, well, yesterday you loved the book. You loved every day.
Episodic? Is that the word of the day?
Yeah, episodic. Up and down.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I wish people would realize when people are playing in their face, they don't even care about what you're talking about. They don't even respect you enough to be like, oh, okay, like, what happened? How'd you get canceled? What's the reason that you went from $1 million that month to $10,000 next month? Were you ever able to get back to that $1 million? Do you think you could ever get back to that $1 million? What do you know now that you could do? Because I feel feel like if I ever got canceled, I would learn what you know what I'm saying. I would say what I got canceled, and she's saying like the consumer, they episodic, they loved you 1 minute, they hated you. I don't think so, because, ooh man, that's what I'm saying. We gotta start being honest when we get canceled, y'all. People don't just switch up on companies that fast, bro. There's people that will support a company for a long time. Just a long time. Some of y'all just be head asses and, like I said, just do dumb stuff and then be like surprised that people like, I guess, stand on business or are gonna hold you to the dumb stuff you do. Yeah, sometimes Americans get like that. So shout out to B Simone, you know what I'm saying? I hope she's making $1 million a month, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like the only way you could truly, like, I feel like, in the sense, like, get better or really learn from your mistake is by truly acknowledging what you did wrong, you know? But if you're not really ready to acknowledge your faults, you're probably not really going to really see no growth. Sean Strickland said some shit, but honestly speaking, it's kind of like what Emmanuel Seal said. People like him, you probably shouldn't even give him no platform. He's saying stupid shit. We probably should just let him just say the stupid shit he want to say. But I just thought it was funny. Like, hey, niggas is really mad over the Bad Bunny shit, that they're really, like, going on stuff. Like, you're a whole UFC fighter. Like, fight your sport, bro. Niggas really hurt over football, and Bad Bunny is really depressing. But rest in peace to Eric Dane. He has sadly passed away at the age of 53. Rest in peace to Eric Dane. Dang. He was battling ALS, which led him to losing his ability to walk. He was under 24-hour care and watch for the last month, and he was in many things like Grey's Anatomy, The Last Ship, Euphoria, Charmed, Countdown, and many films. And he was in Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Rest in peace to Eric Dane. That is sad, because I'm like, what? Dang, what is ALS? What is ALS? I'm sorry, y'all. What is ALS? Because, dang. Let's see what it is. Yeah, I don't. Okay. What is ALS? ALS is an always fatal neurodegenerative disease in which a person's brain loses connection with the muscles. People with ALS lose their ability to walk, talk, eat, and eventually breathe. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Muscle. ALS, healthy motor neurons stimulate muscles to contract. ALS kills motor neurons, causing muscles to weaken and eventually paralyze. Oh my gosh. So, that's really sad. Wow. So, ALS is a disease that once you get it, it doesn't necessarily affect your muscles. It affects the neurons that affect the muscles. So, the fact that I'm able to move my arm, do all this stuff, all the synapses that's going off, that's, you know, going crazy, that's able to respond to me doing this, it will stop it. So pretty much my body would just end up deteriorating because of the lack of attention and lack of energy that's being. Dang, man. Rest in peace to Eric Dane, man. Because I can only imagine, like, man, that's what I'm saying. I love my body, so I can only imagine not being able to do just standing and walking. Nah.
Who you met?
Oh my gosh.
How would you describe the essence of that relationship and that love affair?
Well, we still love each other deeply. I just think we don't want to live with each other. Well, there's a lot of love there. I will never, by the time anybody sees this, I've fallen in love with another woman as deeply as I fell in love with Rebecca. She's the mother of my children. And the whole way that thing came about, it was so organic and fortuitous. I met Rebecca. I turned to her friend and I said, I'm gonna marry that girl.
How did you know?
I have no idea. I have no idea how serious I was in that moment. But I said that. And her friend said, no way, she's never breaking up with her fiance. They're getting married, they've been together since they were 15. 4 years later, I married her. I knew that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. It was like supposed to happen.
Dang, man. Rest in peace to Eric Dane, man. Sadly passed away, man. And, just want to bring awareness to anybody with ALS out there that's battling it. Anybody that's battling, of course, asthma, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Latif, Anybody that's battling depression, rest in peace to, I'm sorry. I forgot his name at the moment. But is anybody that's battling anything, that's going through anything, I'm just sending you guys love, healing, and recovery, because it's tough out here, and I can only imagine. So, with that being said, I think we could kind of end it. We'll try to end it with something a little more positive. Dexter's Laboratory Ego Trip will stream alongside the main show on Tubi starting March 1st. So, starting in March, we're going to get the Dexter's Laboratory. And apparently, Tubi low-key is getting a lot of Cartoon Network shows. So, Tubi Network is going to be coming out soon. So, I just want to say that right there. And then, there's a new movie called Is God Is coming down. I was going to talk about it, but I felt like I didn't have nothing positive to say about it, so I was going to leave it alone. Sometimes, when what your mom said, if you don't got nothing good to say, don't say it. But apparently, it's a movie where this dad tried to kill his wife, and he tried to set her on fire, and then he did it in front of the kids. They get older, and then the girls are also burned, and then the mom wants them to kill the dad. I don't know. It's just, after, like I said, maybe because now that I've seen How to Make a Killing, I see a movie like that now, is like, okay, how they gonna get away with this? And what's really the premise? So they were burned by their dad, and now they want to get back, but in the trailer, it only looks like they're getting get back because the mom said something. It looked like they were just chilling. And the way they made it, the way they were talking about it, they making it seem like it's something that is a righteous thing. But I'm just they said it looks fresh. I'm like, man, I don't know. That's what I said. I'm like, there's no message here. Yeah, because even they're calling Vivica A. Fox is God, and they're saying Sterling Kane Brown is the monster, right? But I don't know. Like I said, I don't see what the goal of the movie is.
We got a letter from Mama. I thought she was dead. What she went with us now? Where's she been at? She's on her deathbed. If we don't go now, this might be our last chance to see God. God, she made us, didn't she?
Girls, I'm gonna make this real simple. Make your daddy dead. Real dead.
This seemed a little crazy.
Not as crazy as setting your wife on fire in front of your kids and abandoning them.
Because, so in the trailer, I know, right? That's how we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just leave it alone. I'm not, because I don't wanna just say it might be a good movie, so I'll wait till it comes out. Sarah Bond has resigned as the president of Xbox. I don't know what that means, but hopefully that's good. And the 58-year-old Quentin Griffith, founder of online fashion giant ASOS, plunged to his death in Thailand after falling from his 17th floor apartment. So rest in peace to Quentin Griffith, founder of ASOS. I just thought that was really interesting, and I'm just like, hope they check on that, because that just sound. I don't know. He fell off his 17th floor apartment. I don't know, man. Let's I hope it can be better than. I hope it's nothing bad, pretty much, because y'all know me. I'm always quick to think somebody did something. So hearing that somebody fell from the 17th floor of their apartment in Thailand, and they're a founder of a brand, that does sound a little suspicious to me, but I could be wrong. And Dan lost. Can y'all believe that? Dan lost Best TV Show Direction Award to Common Side Effects at the I thought this was Anime Awards. Dan loses Best TV Show Direction Award to Common Side Effects at the 2026 Annie Awards. So, never mind. There's nothing wrong about that, but I just want to mention that, you know. That is true. Because somebody just said, watch both at the same time. Common Side Effects was definitely more interesting, intriguing, and better show direction versus the weird rape stuff going on in Dan. Which is true, because even as I said it kind of was sus how, like, because like I said, it's high schoolers. All the weird sexual stuff they would have them doing and stuff like that, but like someone just replied to him. The weird race stuff serves as commentary on the treatment of young women in Japan, which is a common overarching theme in the show. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable, which the show does a really good job at doing. So, shout out to Dan and shout out to Common Side Effects. I gotta start watching it then. If it won the award, I gotta start watching that then. And I just want to end it with this right here, because this right here, guys, is why I feel like go to school, get a degree, get a nice job, get a nice career, so that way you don't end up like this guy. Let's listen.
Let me put it this way. It's your responsibility as a viewer who supports a streamer to actually support them financially. When I'm struggling, you need to step up and donate and sub, because I can't pay rent on this rate. And I don't care what anybody says, $20 an hour is not enough. I don't know how people think that you can get by on $20 an hour in today's world. It's baffling to me, and streaming isn't going as well as I thought it would originally. I've been forced to sell the watch that my grandpa gave me for graduation, and it's just really sad that I have to do this because my community doesn't support me enough to the point where I can.
So I just want you guys to know, Caduce will never be on no shit like that. K-Stacks wouldn't. K-Stacks, the P, will never be on no shit like that. Staydownla will never be on no shit like that. We are a community. You guys are not here to support me or to pay my bills. I'm supposed to pay my bills, and if I have extra time, come on here and make content. Y'all don't owe me nothing, and I don't owe y'all nothing. That's how we're gonna keep it, so that way we could just have this unparasocial relationship, and just overall we could just become a very nice, very co-beneficial community. Like, so that way we could both win in this situation. If I'm the only one gaining, I don't think that's right for anything. So we're not gonna be on no shit like that, y'all. We're not gonna be on no shit like that, y'all. And I'm sorry that there's streamers out there like that do shit like that, because I feel like there's nothing inherently wrong with streaming. I think it's really like a pretty cool medium, or pretty cool like platform to be on. It's just, I feel like if you're just trying to stream for the wrong reasons and you're trying to make content for the wrong reasons, that's where the issue and the disconnect comes on. So thank you guys for listening. It's your boy K-Stacks P. We're about 3 hours into this episode. No interruptions. This was straight through. So thank you guys all for listening. It's your boy K-Stacks P. I really appreciate you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Shout out to my niggas out there, man. Shout out to all the brothers out there, man. Shout out to all the Muslims out there. Shout out to all the Nigerians out there. Shout out to all the people that support me. Thank you guys. Shout out to my angels. Thank you to all the listeners. Shout out to all 110 new subscribers. Shout out to all 80 followers on Instagram. And Shout out to everybody on my TikTok, everybody that listens to me on shout out to the 4 followers on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Patreon. Shout out to everything, man. Shout out to my YouTube. Shout out to my TikTok. Shout out to my Snapchat. Shout out to my Instagram. And shout out to my family, my mom, my dad, Mashid, Malik, Arafat, Nikki Adeoye, Uncle Bayo, Auntie Joke. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Noah, Idris, Donovan, Devin, Uncle Ade, and my niggas, man. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, I love y'all, man. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of everybody that I want to say bye to. It's Case Action P, man. It's been episode 34 of the Staydownla podcast. How to not get away with murder. I don't know why I'm saying that title. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.